Chapter 174. Under a demon tree that was more than 100 feet tall, this demon tree was completely black, as if it was carved out of a large piece of demon stone. It was enshrouded in an extremely evil demonic aura. Between the leaves and branches that almost covered the sky, there seemed to be countless ghosts hibernating, emitting a sinister and terrifying aura. However, there is a little crystal light between the branches. Xiaofan stood under the huge demon tree and looked up with his hand over his eyes. Maybe it's another crystal card. Hee, let's swallow this demon tree first. Boom! The demon Thearka's palm tattoo on Xiaofan's left arm burst out with a whirlpool-like suction force. The nebula changed, and demonic light filled the air. Poof poof poof, the huge demon tree that was more than 100 feet tall was peeled off and turned into rays of demonic light that merged into the demon Thearka's palm tattoo on Xiaofan's left arm. In an instant, the huge tree turned into nothingness and was drunk by the demon Thearka's palm. The demon veins were continuously awakening. It was as if it could not be stopped. Whoosh! A crystal card fell from the air. Xiaofan seized the opportunity and caught it in his hand. Ha, the second crystal card. Xiaofan laughed and threw the crystal card to Huadeng. Senior Sister Hua, this is the clearance crystal card. Keep it well. Huadeng caught it and looked at Xiaofan with gratitude. Thank you, junior brother Xiaofan. Let's continue. Xiaofan was like a fish in water in this sea of demonic light. Now, Xiaofan's left arm's palm tattoo had awakened a total of 423 demon veins. Along the way, he had absorbed countless demon trees, demon flowers, demon herbs, and demon fruits. It was a great supplement. Xiaofan's mind was immersed in the tattoo on the shifter sovereign's palm. He saw that the 423 shifter veins were like spirit rivers and veins, surrounding the two shifter sovereign crystals like stars and gems. The two shifter sovereign crystals were shining brightly like stars and gems, floating with faint shifter race civilization and runes. There were many demon veins on the demon Thearka's palm. They were countless and densely packed like the capillaries in a human body. That was the great demonic emperor's palm. It was lost, refined by Xiaofan with the help of the demon egg. This was a huge treasure. Once the demonic veins were fully opened, Xiaofan couldn't even imagine how terrifying the power of this palm would be. It was practically capable of destroying the heavens and exterminating the earth. A single palm strike could even pierce through the earth's crust. Wow! Boss Xiao, that head examiner really knows how to hide. He actually hid a crystal card between the leaves of a demon tree that is over 100 feet tall. If it wasn't for Boss Xiao being able to absorb demon aura and demon plants, which greatly increased our visibility, we wouldn't have been able to see the crystal card at such a high place and would have missed it. Fatty Zhu sighed repeatedly. Alright, let's not talk too much. We are still missing 3 crystal cards. Let's keep looking. Xiaofan smiled. The group continued onward. That's right. Boss Xiao, it's only been a few hours, but we've already found 2 crystal cards. The main reason is because Boss Xiao is too powerful. The demonic chi here can't restrain you at all. The time it takes to find the crystal cards is a full 3 days. That. Boss Xiao, are you interested in obtaining the so-called most precious red card? Fatty Zhu came over and asked Xiaofan with a fawning face. There's only 1 red card. It's extremely precious. It can be exchanged for rewards from the examiner. Moreover, it's helpful for the next round. I definitely want to get it. Xiaofan said without a doubt. Xiaofan, those participants from the Demon Hero region have threatened that they will not let anyone who dares to touch that red card. Those guys are fierce and overbearing. They are not to be trifled with. If you obtain the red card, it's tantamount to directly offending them. Xiao Yunrong said with some worry. It's fine. This Demon Hero selection competition is too difficult. Death is everywhere. No one knows what the next round is. Since the red card can help me pass the next round, why shouldn't I take it? It's tantamount to a life-saving trump card. I'm not afraid of the participants from the Demon Hero region. They are strong, but I'm not a softie. If we really fight, it's still unknown who will win. Xiaofan's face was full of domineering. At this moment, help me. Is there anyone? In front of them was a grey demonic aura. A pitiful female voice was transmitted, pleading. Who is it? Fatty Zhu said loudly. I'm entangled by the demonic vines. Hurry and save me. I'm a participant from the western region. Help. The female voice cried. Oh. Fatty Zhu nodded slightly. Boss Xiao, it's a participant from the western region. I'll go and take a look. After saying that, Fatty Zhu strode towards the voice. The dormant demonic egg in Xiaofan's heart turned slightly. He shouted to stop it. Fatty, wait a moment. Huh? Fatty Zhu stopped in his tracks. Xiaofan carefully walked forward. The Demon Emperor's palm tattoo on his left arm throbbed, continuously absorbing the demonic aura in front of him. The visibility gradually increased. The line of sight in front of him was like seeing through the clouds, shockingly. More than a meter away from Xiaofan, there was a deep hole in the ground. It was dozens of feet wide and bottomless. On the other side of the deep pit, on top of a demon tree, a demon crow was perched on the treetops. As it flapped its wings, it emitted a female voice. Save me. Quickly come and save me. Save me. The voice was delicate and cute, delicate and pitiful, and vivid. The demonic crow's sharp beak was stained with blood and some white viscous liquid that seemed to be brain matter. What? It's actually a demonic bird? This. It actually wants to lure us over. This. Fatty Zhu, Mo Qingtong, and the rest were so shocked that they could not close their mouths. The demonic crow's cold demonic eyes swept across Xiaofan and the rest. Then, it flapped its wings and was about to fly away. Whoosh! Xiaofan slashed out a faint saber intent, cutting through the air and directly cutting the demonic crow into pieces. Everyone, back off. In the next moment, Xiaofan suddenly shouted. Fatty Zhu and the rest were about to cross the deep hole, but when they heard Xiaofan's shout, they immediately took a few steps back instinctively. SSS shockingly. A giant python directly jumped out of the deep hole. This giant python was more than 100 feet long and as thick as a water bucket. The snake scales all over its body flickered with a frightening demonic light. Its eyes were like two large lanterns, demonic and terrifying, and it also had an ancient and tragic aura. Evil filled the sky. This was an ancient python that had sucked the blood of a mutated demon emperor. The demon blood had caused it to completely mutate. And it had become even stronger and more brutal. Boom! The snake's head moved, pressing down on Xiaofan like a mountain, toppling mountains and overturning seas. The snake's tongue swept out wildly. Gusts of demonic wind rushed over, blowing Xiaofan's clothes upside down. Xiaofan was fearless, and his aura suddenly rose from the ground. Rising steadily. The Son of Heaven's aura looked down on all living things. With a punch, he ruled over the world. The domineering Son of Heaven's true qi was added to Xiaofan's punch, causing the air to surge and the space to crack inch by inch. Bang! The punch landed on the snake's abdomen, and the snake's scales exploded. The demonic python let out a heart-wrenching scream, and its body twisted and trembled. Bang! 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 Xiaofan seized the opportunity and did not hesitate at all. His two fists were like a storm of violent punches. Sometimes, he would use the Son of Heaven's divine fist to attack, and sometimes, he would use the pure strength of his flesh to attack. His entire body was shining with golden light, making him look like an ancient golden god, invincible and almost invincible. The demonic python was tortured to death by Xiaofan, and the snake scales all over its body exploded inch by inch. Just as the demonic python was on the verge of death, the demon emperor's palm tattoo on Xiaofan's left arm exploded with a suction force like a black hole. Hiss! The demonic python let out a shocking wail, and its body twisted and turned into streams of pure demonic qi, which merged into the demon emperor's palm tattoo on Xiaofan's left arm. After 10 breaths, the demonic python disappeared without a trace as if it had evaporated. The demon emperor's palm tattoo on Xiaofan's left arm gorged again, and 500 demonic veins awakened. How nourishing! These demonic beasts have the mutated demon emperor's blood in their bodies, and that is the best nourishment. The demon emperor's palm tattoo is even more satisfying than eating ordinary demon generals. After all, the bloodlines of ordinary demon soldiers and demon generals can never be compared to the mutated demon emperor's blood. Xiaofan was overjoyed. How dangerous! There was actually such a demonic python in the cave. It was very difficult to defend against it when it was caught off guard. Fortunately, Xiaofan, you were able to predict it. Huada rushed up and said with concern, Xiaofan, are you all right? I'm fine. Let's go. After killing the demonic python, Xiaofan stepped over the deep pit. Suddenly, there's a crystal light shining at the bottom of the pit. When Mo Qingtong crossed the deep pit, her sharp eyes caught a crystal light from the corner of her eye. That was not a demonic light, but the luster of a star jade, which was very dazzling. Another crystal card. Xiaofan laughed heartily. The third one. He activated the spirit turtle's quintessential qi, which transformed into a huge hand, and grabbed at the bottom of the pit. As expected, he grabbed a crystal card. Fatty, take it. Xiaofan tossed the crystal card to Fatty Zhu. Thank you for your care, Boss Xiao. Fatty Zhu took the crystal card with a silly smile and carefully placed it into his Jin acupoint, as if he was afraid that someone would snatch it away. Everyone continued to move forward. Brother Xiao, it seems that you're coveting that red card. Mo Qingtong observed. I feel that you don't care about ordinary crystal cards at all. Once you find one, you give it to us without hesitation. Heh. I've said before, I really want the red card. Xiaofan smiled. One had to know that Xiaofan had activated the demon emperor's palm tattoo on his left arm to absorb all kinds of demons in this so-called demon emperor's territory, continuously awakening his demon meridians. Furthermore, the demonic aura here no longer posed any hindrance to him. This made Xiaofan like a tiger in the forest, a dragon returning to the sea. This was his home ground. In such an environment, it was only right for him to fight for the red card. If he did not fight for it now, when would he? Everyone went around a call, and a demon forest appeared not far in front of them. The demonic aura here is getting thicker and thicker. Brother Xiao, it seems that we're getting closer to the 2 mutated demon emperors' corpses, Mo Qingtong said. Yes, the demonic aura makes people feel very oppressed. Xiao Yunrong's face was slightly pale. Xiaofan, if you weren't beside us and absorbed a large portion of the demonic aura, I'm afraid we wouldn't have the confidence to continue moving forward. Don't worry. Xiaofan stopped. Let's keep moving forward. I also want to see what the 2 mutated demon emperors' corpses look like. Heh, where would we get the chance to see mutated demon emperors' corpses normally? Now that we have this chance, it's a good opportunity to broaden our horizons. The demonic aura ahead is getting more and more violent. Under this kind of pressure, it will be easier to cultivate true qi, breakthrough, and explode acupoints. Let's take this opportunity to cultivate our true qi. Yes, there is only motivation when there is pressure. Boss Xiao, Fatty Zhu's 38th true acupoint is loosening. It seems like it will break through at any time. Under normal circumstances, Fatty Zhu would need at least 3 months to break through the 38th true acupoint. But now, In this demon emperor's cave, using the demonic aura to refine my spirit, I can actually explode my acupoints very quickly. How satisfying. Fatty Zhu laughed. Mo Qingtong also smiled slightly. Qingtong is also breaking through her acupoints. Since that's the case, let's try to enter the core area of the Demon Emperor's cave and pay our respects to the mutated Demon Emperor's corpses. Ha ha ha. Let's go. Xiaofan said in high spirits. Everyone moved forward. Suddenly, outside the dense forest in front, a young woman in white was lying on the ground, crying. Her face was delicate and her body's true qi was slightly fluctuating. Her figure was like a mountain range, disorderly and disorderly. Her hair was messy, and her clothes were tattered with many big holes, revealing her naked body. Half of it was exposed, and her buttocks were also at an angle that would cause people to daydream, "There's a woman?" Fatty Zhu was stunned. Heh. The dormant demonic egg in Xiaohan's heart started to turn slightly. He signaled Fatty Zhu, Mo Qingtong, and the rest to stop. Everyone. I am a participant from the North region. I got separated from my senior brother, and was humiliated by several participants from the East region. The woman in white complained as she was about to cry. Oh, is that so? Xiaohan smiled and took a few more steps forward. Brother Xiao. She has a faint demonic aura on her body. Mo Qingtong suddenly reminded him. The next moment, roar. The woman in white let out a demonic roar. Her face instantly became demonic and ferocious as she suddenly pounced towards Xiaohan. Pooh, a saber intent that could quench the void slashed out like an evil dragon, cutting the woman in white into two at the waist. This. Xiao Yunrong and Huada did not notice anything strange for a moment. They looked at each other in confusion. Xiaohan walked over, squatted down gently, and gently swept away the woman in white's hair. He saw that there was a terrifying hole in the back of her head, and her brain matter was completely sucked out. Ah! It's indeed a demon! Huada exclaimed when he saw this. In this hole, other than demon plants and demon beasts, there are also demons? After the demons sucked the brains of the participants, they disguised themselves as the participants. This is extremely terrifying and impossible to guard against. Xiao Yunrong was also in shock. Our vital energy is unable to detect the demonic aura emitted by demonic beasts. However, I could sense traces of demonic aura emanating from these demonic beasts who had their brains sucked out. Mo Qingtong walked towards Xiaohan. Xiao Yunrong, Huada, and Fatty Zhu also walked towards Xiaohan. It must be some demon beast that sucked the brains of this female participant and disguised itself as her, obtaining her thoughts and memories. The competition is getting crueler and crueler. I'm afraid that many participants have already fallen. Xiaohan said slowly. Junior brother Xiaohan. Since we have already found 3 crystal cards, we still need 2 more. Let's hurry up and find them. That red crystal card can only be found by chance. Let's just find 5 ordinary crystal cards and leave this place. This place is too scary. So far, there are already participants whose brains have been taken over by the demon beasts. Huada said in shock. Yes, let's act according to the situation. Xiaohan replied without giving any comment. In the next moment, he was about to activate the demon sovereign's palm tattoo on his left arm to refine the demon corpse into pure demon light and absorb it. However, at this moment, boom! A burst of powerful true chi light blew away a cloud of gray demonic aura on the left side. A young man in a green robe slowly walked out. He was about 20 years old and had a mature and steady temperament. His eyes were very sharp, and his eyebrows were like swords. His eyes were filled with arrogance and conceit. His body moved slightly, and his entire body emitted a huge aura. A true chi flood dragon appeared behind him. This flood dragon was more than 20 zhang long. When it coiled up, its pressure was vast and mighty, and it emitted an incomparably awe-inspiring aura. It was as if he was a king. There were 44 true qi acupoints on his body. They were shining brightly, indicating his extraordinary cultivation base of the 5th level of true qi. "Oh! How dare you?" the young man said coldly. "You actually dared to kill my junior sister. You really don't know the difference between life and death. Which domain are you from? What sect are you from? She was not killed by us. She was possessed by a demonic beast," Xiao Yunrong explained. Xiaofan smiled faintly. "There is a hole on her head, and her brain matter is not leaking out. You can see for yourself. There is a black centipede in the hole on her head. It was a demonic beast, but it was killed by my blade energy." The young man saw the hole on the woman's head and nodded slightly. She was indeed killed by a demonic beast. "Alright, this matter has nothing to do with you. However, my junior sister's body was cut in half by your blade. This is simply a great crime. You have 3 crystal cards? Very good, hand over the crystal cards, and this matter can be written off. Otherwise, I will let you die an ugly death. You probably don't know my reputation in the northern region." "Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha." Xiaofan suddenly laughed loudly and slowly stood up. "You are King courting death, do you know that? You actually found 3 crystal cards. Your luck is not bad." "Oh, no, to be precise, it is my luck that is not bad." The grayish demonic aura was blown away again, and a large group of men and women appeared. Leading the group was Wanyan Gu and the bald Ada. Behind them were dozens of men and women from the great wilderness. Their bodies were shining brightly and were extremely powerful. They could even use the pure strength of their bodies to force the demonic aura away. Especially that Wanyan Gu. His eyes had turned pale gold, and there was a ferocious shadow of a 6-armed dragon rolling in his eyes. It was frightening, and his evil aura was overflowing. His body moved slightly, and it was like 10,000 horses galloping, emitting an aura that could destroy all obstacles. This group of men and women from the great wilderness had been following Xiaofan's group from afar. They did not get too close until Xiaofan's group confronted the northern region participant, Xiaolong, outside the demon forest. Then, they took the opportunity to rush over. Coincidentally, they heard that Xiaofan's group had obtained 3 crystal cards. Their greed was burning, and they could not help but show up, wanting to snatch the cards. Xiaolong frowned and immediately said, "My friends from the great wilderness, these guys have 3 crystal cards. How about this, I will only take 1, and you can divide the remaining 2. What do you think? Let's be friends. I, Xiaolong, am also a genius in the northern region. My sect is powerful, and I am not a nobody." Wanyan Gu did not answer, and only laughed sinisterly. He looked at Xiaofan's group like a butcher looking at his own pigs and dogs. "Ha ha ha." Xiaofan laughed again. He was very calm, so calm that it was terrifying. "You actually started to divide our crystal cards. Interesting. Good, since you great wilderness barbarians are here, then I won't have to look for you. All of you must die. Not even a chicken or dog will be left alive." Chapter 175. Facing the strongest young man from the northern region, Xiaolong, and the dozens of human-shaped savage beasts led by the warrior of the great wilderness, Wanyan Gu, not only was Xiaofan not afraid, he even spoke with assurance. His expression gradually darkened, and his killing intent filled the air as he spoke slowly. "I've always been a kind person and never tried to steal other people's crystal cards. I didn't expect that someone would try to steal from me. Very well, since you dare to steal from me, I'll kill you. There's no reason for that." As for the barbarians from the great wilderness, we've had a grudge against each other for a long time. They've been following me all this time. Let's settle this once and for all. Kill them all. Oh. Hearing Xiaofan's words, Xiao Long, Wanyan Gu, and the others were not enraged. Instead, they were stunned. Xiaofan's companions were stunned as well. It was true that Xiaofan was an invincible figure among the younger generation of the southern region. He had overcome all the obstacles in the preliminary round and was invincible. However, Xiao Long and Wanyan Gu's battle strength was not inferior to the 10 seeded participants of the southern region's preliminary round. In fact, they were even stronger. Xiao Long had opened 44 true acupoints and was at the 5th stage of true qi. Among the younger generation, he was peerless. Furthermore, his aura was as strong as the sea. His spirit and demeanor were a notch higher than the others. His battle strength was even a notch higher than Prince Huolai of the southern region. Wanyan Gu was a ferocious man from the ancient country of Great Wilderness. His flesh was like a treasure, his internal organs were as deep as the sea, and his blood qi and vitality were as vigorous as a dragon's. Furthermore, he had opened 41 true acupoints and was also at the 5th stage of true qi. As a result, his overall battle strength was a notch higher than Xiao Long's. Just Wanyan Gu alone was enough to give Xiaofan a headache, not to mention Xiao Long, who was watching him like a tiger watching its prey. Furthermore, the group of men and women from the Great Wilderness that Wanyan Gu brought with him were all outstanding geniuses. They would not be easy to deal with. Xiaofan said that he was going to kill them in such a casual manner. It seemed that he was indeed being careless. Is there something wrong with your brain? Xiao Long was dumbfounded. I think you've consumed some kind of elixir to conceal your cultivation level. But based on your age, no matter how talented you are, you're only at the 4th stage of true qi. People like you might be outstanding in the southern region for a while, but in the northern region, of course. I, Xiao Long, have traversed the world unhindered. In the north region, I'm known as a heaven-gifted genius. I'm a natural-born paragon. In the future, I will definitely dominate a region. I, Xiao Long, can kill dozens of people like you with a flip of my hand. How dare you roar? You're going to kill me? People of the northern region, join forces with me, Wanyan Gu, to suppress this person. The rest of you, deal with the others. Northern region cultivators, of Wanyan Gu, man, Wanyan Gu stuck out his coarse tongue and licked his lips. Ferocious aura burst out from his eyes. The 6-armed barbaric dragon in his pupils roared vaguely, and its evil aura filled the air. Xiaohan, Mo, of Fiend, he. Xiaohan savage, Xiao, Fatty Zhu calmed down in the face of danger. He was also preparing a killing move. He wanted to summon countless huge swords and crush all the enemies. Long, and Heaven, Tian Long Wu Long Xiao Master, Dragon of Savage, Chen Wu, of Xiao Long, Sha, Tian Wilderness. Wu Tang. Suddenly, Xiaohan said with a smile. Fatty, Miss Mo, Senior Sister Hua, Yun Rong, don't do anything. To deal with this group of scum, I'll fight them all alone. What? Mo Qingtong and Fatty Zhu exclaimed at the same time. What a joke. One against all the enemies. This was too absurd. Ha 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 ha, Xiao Long and Wanyan Gu burst into laughter. Right at this moment. Boom. Boom. The glass-like demonic light on Xiaohan's left arm blossomed completely. It was as if the mysterious demonic voice and obscure chanting came from afar. 2 incomparably huge ancient demon talismans appeared out of nowhere, tearing apart the void and descending. A demonic wind swept forth. The sun and moon lost their light. Flying sand and stones. These were ancient demonic characters, completely different from the characters of the human race, but they contained an incomparably evil and demonic sealing power. There was a trace of suppressing 10,000 immortals inside. Unfathomable. In the sky, the two ancient demon talismans released endless demonic light. The red light shocked the sky, and the demonic glow was blazing. The demonic sound could corrode one's will and soul, and the aura was too shocking. There was a faint might of a demon emperor, frightening one's soul. Sky Demon Investiture. This was the second time Xiaofan used this demonic technique. The first time he used it to seal the demon hero, Nangongyi. However, at that time, Xiaofan had only awakened 100 demon meridians, and the demonic power provided to the demon emperor crystal was slightly insufficient. Thus, the power of the Sky Demon Investiture could only be unleashed. At this moment, Xiaofan had awakened 500 demon meridians, and his demonic power was abundant. He instantly drained all his demonic power and shot out 2 demon talismans. Devouring the 9 continents, suppressing the ages. In a flash, the 2 demon talismans descended from the sky, covering Wanyan Gu and Xiao Long. In an instant, Wanyan Gu and Xiao Long's true qi was sealed, and all their movements were completely sealed. As if petrified, the two stood on the spot, dumbfounded. In the blink of an eye, Xiaofan's body moved, and his physical strength surged out. He rushed in front of Wanyan Gu, and grabbed Wanyan Gu's legs with both hands. Wanyan Gu was swung up by Xiaofan. In the next moment, the most terrifying thing happened. Die. Xiaofan had actually used Wanyan Gu's body as a hammer to sweep away an army of 1,000, sweeping toward Xiao Long's waist. Wanyan Gu was a mutant from the great wilderness, a warrior of an ancient country. He was born with divine strength, and his body was like a treasure shell, impenetrable by swords and spears. The strength of his body was even stronger than Xiaofan's. At this time, he was bound by the Sky Demon Investiture and could not move. He was swung out by Xiaofan. Wanyan Gu's body weight was more than tens of thousands of kilograms, and he was like a heavy weapon used to attack cities. When he was swung out by Xiaofan's huge strength, it complemented each other, producing the sound of wind and thunder, destroying everything. Bang! Wanyan Gu's body slammed into Xiao Long. The sound of mountains collapsing, meteorites crashing, stars shaking, and volcanoes erupting could be heard. Xiao Long's flesh shell was completely smashed. All his bones exploded, and his internal organs were pulverized. With a poof, he was smashed into a pile of minced meat, and a mist of blood filled the air. A large pile of supreme-grade true qi spirit stones, elixirs, and books burst out from Xiao Long's shattered acupoints and spread out on the ground. Xiaofan smiled sinisterly, and turned around to rush into the group of men and women of the wilderness who did not know what was going on. Bang! 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 Xiaofan swung Wanyan Gu's body and smashed it randomly. Tossing and swallowing like a whale, he smashed a large area like the autumn wind sweeping away fallen leaves. 10,000 elephants galloped, crushing with great force. Every single person from the great wilderness that was hit would explode and shatter to the point where they could not be any more shattered. That bald Ada did not escape this calamity either. He was smashed to death, and his flesh shell shattered, splattering on the ground. Violent power and ruthlessness swept through the 3,000 great worlds. Until all the enemies were smashed to death, Xiaofan's flesh shell surged, and he rushed up 100 meters high. He lifted Wanyan Gu's body up high, and when he landed, he smashed it with all his strength. Bang! Wanyan Gu's body directly collapsed on a huge rock, and the rock was smashed into pieces. Finally, Xiaofan was satisfied and casually threw Wanyan Gu's broken body to the side. At this moment, Wanyan Gu's body was completely cracked, and it was covered with spider web-like cracks. All the bones in his body had been smashed into pieces. He kept twitching on the ground, and blood spurted out from his eyes, ears, mouth, and nose. Even his internal organs were spat out. He was like a dead dog that was convulsing and losing control of his bowels. After a few breaths, bang, a pile of shiny items burst out from Wanyan Gu's true acupoint. He was dead. Xiaofan had indeed killed all the enemies with his own strength. Even Wanyan Gu and Xiao Long, the two great experts, had died tragically without even releasing a single move. They were all ferocious people with ultimate killing techniques. Wanyan Gu's true qi cultivation technique could even transform into a six-armed dragon that could trample on the sun and moon. But unfortunately, they could not use their ultimate skills. They were killed by the Sky Demon God Investiture Lock. They would definitely not die in peace. This was absolutely torturous killing. Xiaofan's methods were simply as swift as a thunderbolt, swift as the wind, and decisive in killing. And savage. Savage enough to make one's hair stand on end. A bunch of trash, you still dare to roar in front of me? This is my home ground. I can use all my methods to my heart's content. Killing you is like killing pigs and dogs. Xiaofan sneered. Just now, Xiaofan did not hesitate to use all his demonic power to use the Sky Demon God Investiture Lock. He did not want to be entangled in a fight, and he wanted to destroy the enemy instantly. Because Xiaofan knew that he was definitely not their match in a fight. He had to use the demon race's secret technique to crush them violently. Fatty Zhu, Mo Qingtong, Xiao Yunrong, and Hui Yang were all stunned. The scene of Xiaofan killing the enemy was as if he was possessed by a demon god, a god of death descending to the mortal world. The scene was too shocking, and they could not bear to look at it. Their hearts trembled. What are you standing there for? Pick up all the things on the ground. Xiaofan licked his lips. He did not care about the consequences and collected all the items that had dropped from the enemy's true acupoints and stored them in his own true acupoint. There were a large number of top-grade True Qi Spirit Stones and some Divine True Qi secret manuals. Xiaofan did not look at them in detail and collected them all. Xiao. Boss Xiao. You're too savage. Fatty Zhu swallowed his saliva. Killing these people is like killing chickens. Heavens, during the Southern Region qualifiers, you really held back. If you had done this during the qualifiers, you would have killed a large number of them, Brother Xiao. Just now, was that a demon race's secret technique? It's too savage and domineering. It actually contained the aura of a demon emperor. Mo Qingtong said repeatedly. Brother Xiao, you're really unfathomable, I'm ashamed. I don't dare to use this move openly for the time being. I'm afraid that I'll be besieged. However, in this forbidden area, there's no one to monitor me. I can do whatever I want and do whatever I want. Xiaofan smiled. At least I have to wait until I become a demon hero before I dare to use the demon technique. However, after using the 2 demon talismans just now, the demon power in Xiaofan's 500 demon veins had been exhausted. Fortunately, there was sufficient demon qi, demon plants, and demon beasts in this area, which could replenish Xiaofan's supply. The demon veins I awakened are still too few. If I can awaken 5,000 or even 50,000 demon veins, then whoever dares to provoke me in this demon hero qualifier, I'll kill them directly. Xiaofan licked his lips. Xiaofan, no wonder you have the confidence to challenge the contestants from the demon hero domain. Your demon technique is too mysterious and domineering. Xiao Yunrong clicked her tongue and said. Alright, keep this matter a secret for me. This is my trump card. Don't tell anyone. Let's continue forward and pass through the demon forest in front of us to see the corpses of the 2 mutated demon emperors, Xiaofan said with a smile. At this moment, suddenly. Boom. 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 The terrifying sound of all elephants trampling came from the demon forest in front of them. A large number of demonic trees were overturned and snapped, as if they were nothing more than dried twigs. The ground shook. The earth quaked. The demon egg in Xiaohan's heart spun rapidly. What is this? Xiao Yunrong exclaimed in shock. The next moment, countless demonic wolves rushed out and destroyed that demonic forest. It was a complete mess. There were probably hundreds and thousands of demon wolves. They seemed to be a wolf pack. Each demon wolf was more than 10 feet long. Their bodies were black and their eyes were scarlet. Their demonic aura soared into the sky and their ferocious aura made the earth tremble. Heavens! So many demon wolves! Xiaofan was horrified. Fatty, what are you looking at? It's your turn to perform. Summon the giant sword and crush the wolf pack to death. Xiaohan slapped Fatty Zhu's head. Yes, boss. Now, watch me perform. Fatty Zhu clasped his palms together and the grey demonic aura in the sky immediately split open, revealing dozens of huge gaps. Howl! The demon wolves howled and the cuckoos cried out. The sky changed color. Then, with the momentum of 10,000 horses galloping, they charged towards Xiaohan and the others. Chapter 176. The terrifying demon wolf pack trampled on the ground and crushed the mountains and rivers, rushing towards Xiaohan like a torrent. Waiting for it to arrive. The astonishing demon aura soared into the sky, extinguishing all life. Human martial artists with slightly weaker cultivations would collapse in the face of such an aura, not to mention fighting the demon wolf pack. Xiaohan's heart stirred and he asked Fatty Zhu to attack. Fatty Zhu took a step forward and put his palms together. The 37 five-pointed star true acupoints on his body shone brightly and shot out 37 rays of light, piercing through the grey and deathly still demon aura and opening 37 giant holes in the sky. An obscure pressure covered the sky and the earth, pouring down in torrents. In the next moment, boom! 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 A total of 37 giant swords smashed down. Every giant sword was over 30 feet long and heavy, as if they were carved from meteorites. They had the terrifying power to destroy heaven and earth. Heaven Duke was enraged, lightning struck the 9 heavens and crushed the stars. Pooh! 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 The gigantic sword crushed through the pack of demon wolves like a guillotine, cutting through melons and vegetables. In an instant, the innumerable demon wolves were crushed into dregs and bloody mist. Heh! Xiaohan nodded his head in satisfaction. Soon after, he took a big stride forward. Xiao, the demon wolf corpses immediately disintegrated into rays of pure demon light and fused into the demon god palm tattoo on Xiaohan's left arm. The 500 dried-up demon meridians became lively again, rolling with a colored glaze and dense demon aura. The demon wolf pack was huge in number, but they were all crushed to death by Fatty Zhu's giant swords, becoming nourishment for the demon god palm tattoo on Xiaohan's left arm. Very quickly, the demon wolf corpses were sucked dry, allowing Xiaohan to not only recover the lost demon power of the 500 demon meridians, but also awaken another 300 demon meridians. Demon God Palm, I've awakened a total of demon meridians. Very good. Xiaohan's heart was filled with ecstasy. Fatty, you are formidable. Mo Qingtong slightly swept a glance at Fatty Zhu. I can see that you open 37 true acupoints in your body, so you can summon 37 giant swords, right? The more true acupoints you open, the more giant swords you can summon. Xiao Yunrong and Xiaofan were shocked when they saw Fatty Zhu's methods. In his heart, he exclaimed in admiration. A pack of demon wolves was annihilated by Fatty Zhu in the blink of an eye. This greatly contradicted his usual image of being as silly and honest as a pig. Fatty, you really know how to act, Huowu smiled faintly. He. Zhu Fatty laughed foolishly again. I'm ashamed, this Fatty isn't much, I can't even compare to Boss Xiao. Boss Xiao is truly powerful. I'm at most an assistant. With that said, Fatty Zhu put away the 37 swords without batting an eyelid. Xiaofan waved at his companions in satisfaction. Let's go. Let's go deeper into the forbidden area and check the bodies of the two mutated demon emperors. Fatty Zhu, Mo Qingtong, and the others smiled and welcomed them. However, at this moment, in the depths of the forbidden zone, a streak of sword light suddenly slashed out like a rainbow, like a crimson radiance. This streak of sword light was mixed with the sound of thunder as it surged over. The magnificent sword light was like a bolt of lightning that pierced through the darkness. Everywhere the majestic sword aura passed, all the demonic aura was distorted and evaporated. Phantoms of thunder gods appeared everywhere. Moreover, it was just a streak of sword light, but it contained the supreme profoundness of swordsmanship and strong traces of sword intent. It could slash through the void, destroy people, and slaughter countries. This streak of sword light was smooth and flawless, seemingly without any flaws. It tore through space, distorted the demonic aura, and instantly charged towards Xiaofan. It had a feeling that it would kill in one strike, making it impossible to dodge. It was like a predestined fate. It was impossible to escape. It was a fated misfortune, a great calamity, and a great limit. Damn it! It was already too late for Xiaofan to dodge. In a hundredth of a breath, a demonic light flashed on the demon emperor's palm tattoo on his left arm. The North Mystic Demon Emperor crystal let out an obscure and deep chant, and the demonic talisman evaporated. When the sword light stabbed Xiaofan, his body shattered and exploded. However, his true body had already appeared dozens of feet away. The movement was illusory. The first strike missed, and there was no second strike. A faint and arrogant voice, mixed with the lingering charm of the sword qi, sounded leisurely. People of the Wuxia region, seal the depths of this forbidden area. No one is allowed to enter. Anyone who violates will be killed without mercy. Xiaofan, are you okay? At this time, Fatty Zhu, Mo Qingtong, and the others rushed up. Xiao Yunrong's face was pale, and she said with lingering fear. This streak of sword qi just now contains the supreme sword intent. It's invincible in the world. It's just a streak of sword qi, but the sword intent in it can crush Yunrong to death. It's too terrifying. He must be a genius in sword Dao, a genius with divine talent. Is he a contestant from the Wuxia region? Xiaofan looked into the depths of the forbidden area, and the muscles at the corner of his eyes twitched slightly. Xiaofan, this strike came from at least hundreds of miles away. Moreover, it seems to be a casual strike. I guess it's a deterrent. However, even such a simple sword strike almost made you unable to block it, Xiaofan. Well, if I don't use demonic methods, I can only use my flesh shell and indestructible golden body to resist this strike. I can't dodge it. There's a kind of doomed intent in it, and it's hard to escape. The owner of this strike is very powerful, a few levels stronger than Xiaofan, Xiaofan said coldly. It's an expert from the Wuxia region. It's indeed there. It's a warning and deterrent, so that others can't enter the depths of the forbidden area. They're bossy and domineering. Is that red card in the depths of the forbidden area? Xiaofan suddenly realized. After a pause, she said again. Xiaofan, judging from this strike, the people from the Wuxia region are indeed too strong. They're more difficult to deal with than the young generation of the East region and the Great Wilderness. Moreover, there are KC contestants from the Wuxia region. It's really terrifying. In fact, we should have realized a long time ago that the strongest force in this hex trial is not the southern region, the northern region, the western region, nor the eastern region, which is known as the most prosperous and populous, the Great Wilderness. It's the top people from the Wuxia region. After all, this group of people are the moldable talents carefully selected by some old antiques in the Wuxia region, and then cultivated with all their strength. They're extraordinary. Mo Qingtong's face was serious and serious. Xiaofan, what should we do now? Should we continue to move forward or retreat? Once we go deep into the forbidden area, we'll definitely encounter the most powerful people from the Wuxia region, and maybe they'll start a war. To shed all pretense of cordiality with these people, how should I put it, it's not wise. Boss Xiao. Fatty Zhu also said weakly. Anyway, we've got the long pass crystal card now. We only need 2 more to pass all the tests. Otherwise, we'll look around the periphery of the forbidden area. There's no need to get into trouble. They have a great expert over there, and we only have 5 people. Although Boss Xiao is the best in the world, we're outnumbered. It was normal for his companions to be worried. Xiaofan thought for a moment. How about this, I'll accompany you to carefully search around the periphery. After finding another pass crystal card, the 4 of you will leave the forbidden area, return, and hand the crystal card to the main examiner. As for me. Xiaofan looked towards the depths of the forbidden area again. His eyes flashed with a resolute expression. I must go to the depths of the forbidden area. I've said it before, this is my home ground. I don't care if it's the Wuxia region or the Great Desolate East region. Those who block me will die. Xiaofan. This. Mo Qingtong's face was full of worry. Xiaofan, you're forcing yourself, junior brother Xiaofan, they have the advantage in numbers. If you fight them head-on, you'll be at a disadvantage. Xiaofan also advised. That's right, that's right. Boss, Fatty, definitely don't think you'll lose to them one-on-one. But they're KC people. The fat on Fatty Zhu's face trembled. Xiaofan, there's still a long way to go. There's no need to fight for this moment. Xiao Yunrong said softly. Take your time. Xiaofan waved his hand. 10,000 years is too long. Seize every moment. I don't like to be stifled. I don't beat around the bush. I'm not shrewd. I'm straightforward. These guys from the Wuxia region are too strong. They directly shot out sword chi to intimidate me. If I didn't know demonic techniques, would have been injured by that sword strike just now. I might even have exploded. Since they think that the red card belongs to them, I'll play with them. I'll trample on their pride. I'll slap their faces. Alright, it's decided. If you guys come with me, I'll have to split my attention to take care of you. How about this, I'll accompany you to find the crystal card now and then escort you out. I'll meet the geniuses of the Wuxia region alone. Don't worry, Xiaofan, won't act rashly. I'll act according to the circumstances. In short, I'll think of a way to save my life. Hearing Xiaofan's determination, Mo Qingtong and the others were speechless. They couldn't find any words to persuade him. Moreover, they also knew that people like Xiaofan wouldn't act according to common sense. Once he made up his mind to do something, he wouldn't change his mind easily. Alright, brother Xiao. Mo Qingtong nodded helplessly. Boss, I really admire you a lot. Fatty's cultivation is too weak. Otherwise, I'll definitely accompany boss. Trample on the faces of those guys from the Wuxia region. They're too arrogant. Fatty Zhu said with a face full of worship. Ha ha ha. Alright, that's enough. I'll accompany you guys to find the crystal card now. Fatty, Yunrong, senior sister Hua, the 3 of you can pass with 1 crystal card each. Only Miss Mo is left. Come, let's search carefully. Xiaofan led the group to search the surroundings. Not long after Xiaofan and the others left, Li Ziki, Qingfeng, and dozens of young men and women from the southern region arrived at the place where Xiaofan killed Xiaolong and Wanyengu. What? How is this possible? Qingfeng looked at the dismembered bodies on the ground in horror. They're all dead. Wanyengu and the others were all dead. What's more, their entire bodies had been shattered into pieces. They had died without a complete corpse. Who did this? It can't be Xiaofan, right? Impossible. Wanyan Gu is a true body dual cultivator. He's a warrior of the Great Desolation ancient country. Whether it's his body or his true qi, he's far superior to Xiaofan. It's impossible for him to die in Xiaofan's hands. It must be done by some demon in this forbidden area. Li Ziki said decisively. Everyone, be careful. This forbidden area is too scary. We've already lost more than 10 lives and only found 2 crystal cards to pass the test. Also, the demon qi in front of us is getting more and more difficult to advance. We can't go any further. Let's just cruise around the surrounding area and search for the crystal cards carefully. If we meet Xiaofan and the others, kill them immediately. To be continued. Chapter 177. After Xiaofan finished discussing with his companions, they did not continue to venture deeper into the forbidden zone. Instead, they searched for crystal cards in the surroundings. Along the way, all the demon plants and demon beasts that Xiaofan encountered became nourishment for the demon the arch tattoo on his left arm. A few hours later, the demon god's palm had already awakened a total of 900 demon veins. 2 demon emperor crystals were embedded within, wrapped in an endless stream of beautiful demonic light. The ancient demonic symbols flickered, making the scene look dreamy and illusory. This place is truly my paradise. Xiaofan sucked dry the blood of a mutated demon emperor and awakened another 2 demon veins. He couldn't help but take a deep breath. He was completely immersed in the wonderful state of awakening his demon veins. His left arm glowed with a demonic light, and he could feel his strength increasing bit by bit. However, it was not enough. The demon meridians on the demon Thearcha's palm were as numerous as the capillaries in the human body. Awakening a mere few hundred was like trying to put out a burning cart of firewood with a cup of water. Xiaofan couldn't help but sigh. If I could melt and absorb the corpses of the 2 mutated demon emperors, it would be so cool. Wait. Why did I suddenly have such a bold idea? Even Xiaofan was shocked by this sudden thought. Mutated demon emperors were the nobles of the demon race, and they were infinitely close to the emperor of the demon race. Sucking their corpses was a very crazy idea. Xiaofan hurriedly suppressed this wild thought and wild hope, but in his heart, he was indeed beginning to stir. Something was brewing in his eyes. This forbidden zone was shrouded in a gray, deathly stillness and demonic aura. It was impossible to distinguish day and night. However, it was estimated that the participants had already been in the forbidden zone for a day and a night. In other words, there were still 2 more days before the time to collect the crystal cards. I need to make the most of these 2 days. On the one hand, I need to find the red card. On the other hand, I need to gather as much demonic qi as I can in this forbidden region, and awaken as many demonic veins as I can. Xiaofan thought. Boss Xiao, we've also walked a big circle, but we actually couldn't find any more crystal cards. Fatty Zhu said. It seems that finding crystal cards also depends on luck. It's already been a day and a night. I'm afraid that many of the competitors have already found their crystal cards and returned to the main examiner to verify that they passed. In other words, as time goes by, it will be more and more difficult for us to find crystal cards, Mo Qingtong analyzed. Fatty Zhu licked his lips. He looked honest, but his tone suddenly turned gloomy. Boss Xiao, why don't we just rob them? Right at this moment, Suddenly, a bone-chilling sense of danger gripped Xiaofan in an instant. Xiaofan was very familiar with this sense of danger. It was the same feeling he had when he was ambushed by Li Ziqi's flying dagger. Like maggots on a bone. A streak of dazzling rainbow light broke through the layers of demonic qi. It was a flying knife. A 3-inch throwing knife. Li Ziqi's flying dagger. This saber strike was very dazzling, and contained a demonic power that caused vortexes to appear wherever the saber light passed. Light was distorted, and it could kill and slay ghosts to the extreme. Abruptly, a strange light flashed in Xiaofan's eyes. His entire body emitted a golden light, and his left arm glowed with a faint demonic light. His body also left a series of afterimages. Then, he let out a blood-curdling scream and fell backwards. That flying knife seemed to have pierced into Xiaofan's body. Ah! Li Ziki! You actually ambushed me. How? How hateful! Xiaofan fell to the ground, his voice filled with pain and anger. A strange look flashed across Mo Qingtong's eyes. She immediately pounced on Xiaofan and started shouting. Xiaofan! Xiaofan, what's wrong? Don't scare us. Xiaofan! Her voice was extremely miserable, and she was about to cry. It was completely heartbroken. However, there was a cunning and mischievous glint in her eyes. At this moment, Fatty Zhu, Xiao Yunrong, and Huo Wu finally reacted. Oh no! It's Li Ziqi's flying dagger. He ambushed again. How despicable, shameless, despicable. Boss Xiao, are you alright? Fatty Zhu also rushed towards Xiaofan. Xiao Yunrong and Huo Wu's beautiful faces paled, and they were in a panic. At this moment, ha 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 ha. Xiaofan, aren't you quite arrogant? Aren't you an invincible hero who dominates the younger generation of the southern region? Ha ha ha. But today, you will die in my hands. Li Ziqi's maniacal laughter rang out. In the next moment, Li Ziqi, Qing Feng, and dozens of young men and women from the southern region pushed through the demonic fog and walked over. Li Ziqi's face was pale, and he looked like he was exhausted. However, his eyes were burning with excitement. Just now, it wasn't easy for me to catch your aura, Xiaofan. I looked for an opportunity along the way and then attacked with all my strength. This slash drained my essence, qi, spirit, and true qi, but it was a fatal slash. This slash contained my original true qi. It doesn't feel good to have the blade qi invade your body, right? Ha ha ha. You will definitely die this time. Qing Feng crossed his arms and stood next to Li Ziqi, gloating. He said indifferently. Miss Mo, Fatty Zhu, since Xiaofan is about to die, you don't have to hesitate anymore. Join our team. This devil hero selection is extremely dangerous. If you work together, you will be strong. If you work separately, you will be weak. Xiaofan doesn't know how to appreciate favors. He deserves to die. Alright, everyone's goal is the same, to become a devil hero. You don't have to avenge an idiot like Xiaofan. At this moment, Xiaofan was lying in Mo Qingtong's arms, his head resting on her thighs. Mo Qingtong's elegant virgin fragrance lingered in his nose. Oh. Brother Xiao, you look like you're enjoying it. Do you like how Qingtong treats you? Mo Qingtong smiled at Xiaofan, who was pretending to be dead. She had a strange look in her eyes. Miss Mo, I'm sorry, Xiaofan said embarrassedly. Then, he threw away the flying knife in his hand and stood up. There were no wounds on his body. Obviously, he was not hit by the flying knife just now, but pretended to be injured. Just a moment ago, Xiaofan used a bit of demonic energy and used illusory movement to dodge the saber. What? Xiaofan, you cheated. Seeing Xiaofan stand up unscathed, the pride on Li Ziqi and Cheng Feng's faces suddenly died. Their expressions froze. If I didn't cheat, would you dare to show yourself? Xiaofan narrowed his eyes. Li Ziqi, your flying knife is indeed powerful. It's troublesome to let you hide in the dark for a long time and launch sneak attacks. It's better to take this opportunity to get rid of you. Irrelevant people, get out of here, I'm going to kill. Get out of here as soon as possible, otherwise, I'll kill all of you. This. The group of young men and women following Li Ziki and Xiaofan were instantly terrified. They exchanged glances, and more than half of them immediately fled in the opposite direction, leaving only 20 or so people behind to stare fixedly at Xiaofan. Xiaofan. You're really cunning. But, there's only 5 of you. Fine, if we don't kill you, we won't be able to eat and sleep in peace. Take this opportunity, kill. Xiaofan, do it. Li Ziki's eyes burst with ruthlessness. At this moment, buzz, demonic light shone and demonic sound filled the air. 2 ancient and mysterious demonic talismans appeared and shrouded Xiaofan and Li Ziki instantly. Heavenly Demon God Seal. Bang! Bang! Xiaofan's figure flashed and charged forward. With 1 punch each, he shattered their bodies into pieces and they couldn't be more dead. At the same time, Mo Qingtong released the Heavenly Devil World and enveloped the 20 people who followed Li Ziki and Xiaofan. The Heavenly Devil Force field was released, light distorted and demonic sound seeped into the brain. Demon race. Kill. 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 You're all demons. Die. In an instant, the 20 people became confused and hallucinated. They slashed at each other and after a few breaths, they left behind a pile of corpses. Bang! 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 A large pile of items burst out from the corpses and spread out on the ground. Among them, 2 crystal cards were shining brightly. There are 2 crystal cards. Ha ha ha. They actually found 2 crystal cards. Fatty Zhu laughed wretchedly and rushed forward to pick up the 2 crystal cards. Miss Mo, it's a pleasure working with you. Xiaofan grinned. Heh. Mo Qingtong smiled charmingly. Her tone was as soft as cotton. Brother Xiao, you have taken advantage of Qingtong just now. In the future, don't forget to leave Qingtong behind and leave. Damn, Miss Mo must be joking. Xiaofan smiled awkwardly and thought to himself, I don't have a day, how can there be a future? Soon, everyone collected the top-grade True Qi spirit stones and various items on the ground. Fatty Zhu handed the 2 crystal cards to Xiaofan to deal with, acting like a lackey. Very good, there are 2 crystal cards here. In addition to the 3 we found earlier, there are a total of 5 crystal cards, just enough for the 5 of us to pass. Xiaofan smiled in satisfaction and handed one of the crystal cards to Mo Qingtong, keeping one for himself. I'll keep this crystal card for now. Now, I'll accompany the 4 of you back. You guys pass first, I have to enter the depths of the forbidden area to take a look. Okay. Mo Qingtong nodded, then Brother Xiao, let's not delay and return now. Let's go. 4 hours later. The 5 of them returned to the entrance of the forbidden area. Outside, it was already early in the morning. The morning light was like a dream and the morning glow was like a poem. Chen Shifeng and the crippled old man sat on the rock contentedly. Outside the valley, there were thousands of contestants who had found their crystal cards and successfully passed. Oh! Another 5 people came out. In just one day, 129 contestants found their crystal cards and successfully passed. Not bad. Chen Shifeng jumped off the rock and welcomed Xiaofan and the others. Little guys, congratulations on passing the 2nd round. When he glanced at Xiaofan, his eyes suddenly froze and he blurted out, Young man, what's your name? His voice trembled slightly. Junior Xiaofan, Xiaofan answered casually, then motioned for Mo Qingtong, Fatty Zhu, and the others to quickly return their crystal cards and pass. Wuxia Pagoda. Level 29. In the hall. A group of Wuxia with strong auras was staring at the image on the gem. I see junior brother Xiaofan and the others. Xiao Mingchu stood up excitedly. That's junior brother Xiaofan, junior sister Huiyang, and Mo Qingtong. My fatty is out too. Ha ha ha. Zhu Ganglai also laughed wildly. My fatty is pretty good, he also passed the second round. And, not bad, all of them passed safely. Heavens, devil, old man said with relief. Ha! Ever since this batch of contestants entered the restricted area, in just one day, 2,139 names have dimmed. This is enough to show that the restricted area is treacherous and full of hidden dangers. Now that I see Xiaofan and the others can pass smoothly. And, not bad. Wu Yu also laughed. However, what's going on? Junior brother Xiaofan returned to the restricted area alone. Fang Ling and Dong Fang Qin exclaimed at the same time. Mo Qingtong, junior sister Huiyang, the woman from Mingjian Villa, and little fatty Zhu all left the restricted area and handed over their crystal cards to pass, but junior brother Xiaofan returned directly. What does this mean? Fang Ling was shocked. Could it be that Xiaofan didn't find his crystal card? Heavens, devil, old man was also bewildered. In the valley outside the restricted area, Xiaofan watched his 4 companions pass and heaved a sigh of relief. He then returned to the restricted area without looking back and used his movement technique to fly away. Oh! Chen Fading Wind was stunned and his eyes revealed a pondering expression. This little guy is really strange, he returned again. Crippled old man blinked his eyes. Oh right, Chen Fading Wind, why did you specifically ask for this youngster's name? Chen Fading Wind touched his nose. Xiaofan. His name is Xiaofan. Crippled old man, pay attention to this youngster, he is very interesting. Really very interesting. Very interesting, what do you mean? What are you trying to say? Ha ha ha. This youngster is hiding a lot of secrets. Alright, Xiaofan. I'll remember him. Ha ha ha. I haven't seen such an interesting youngster for many years. Chapter 178. After escorting his companions and returning their crystal cards, Xiaofan once again returned to the forbidden area that was wreaking havoc with demonic aura alone. He wanted to go deep into the forbidden zone. There are still 2 days before the end of the second round. I must train hard in these 2 days and awaken as many demon veins as possible. Xiaofan had a plan. Since there was no one around, Xiaofan activated the demon egg and the demon monarch's palm tattoo on his left arm without any scruples. Endless demonic aura was dissolved and absorbed, allowing Xiaofan to move freely without any hindrance or restriction, like a fish in water. Senior martial brother, there seemed to be a shadow passing by just now. It seems to be a participant. A beautiful girl in a green robe said to an old man in a short robe. Don't talk nonsense, junior martial sister. The demon chi in this forbidden zone covers the sky. Those below the 6th level of true chi realm will be restricted. No participant can use their movement skills to run wildly here. Even those participants from the Devil Xia region, all of them talented geniuses, will be affected to a small extent. Alright, let's continue looking for the crystal card. We still need one more. The man in a short robe smiled. Bang! A 3-zhang long demon rhinoceros was crushed by Xiaofan's pure physical strength. The demon corpse turned into rays of colored demon light and merged into the tattoo on the demon emperor's palm. Xiaofan stood under a black hill. The hill was covered with demon flowers and demon trees, and demon fruits grew on the demon trees. Xiaofan stood still like a rock and raised his left arm. Poo 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 poo, all the demonic plants on the hill were uprooted, turned into demonic light, and were devoured by the demonic monarch's palm. Even the hill eventually collapsed into beautiful demonic light, and was devoured by the demonic monarch's palm. Xiaofan struggled along the way. Soon, 1,200 demon veins had been awakened in the demon emperor's palm on his left arm. The demon power was surging violently. A few hours later, Xiaofan arrived at the area where he was threatened by the Devil Xia region participant's sword chi. Here, the demon qi is even more intense. A few hundred li ahead is the core area of this forbidden zone. The two mutated demon emperor corpses might be there. Xiaofan nodded slightly. Without hesitation, he used his movement skills and dashed into the depths of the forbidden zone. 20 li deep. They were 25 miles deep. They were 35 miles deep. Wang Wang Wang, the demon egg and the demon monarch tattoo on Xiaofan's left arm that were hibernating in his heart faintly emitted a message that was close to excitement. This message was very subtle. It was as if there was something extremely captivating ahead that was attracting bees and butterflies. The demonic egg and the demonic monarch's palm must have sensed the corpses of the two mutated demonic emperors. Xiaofan thought to himself. Just then, a hurricane suddenly rushed out, and a dragon and tiger appeared, engulfing Xiaofan in an instant. A large area of demonic qi was blown to ashes. In the time it took for a spark to fly off a flint, Xiaofan immediately activated the Emperor's true qi and used the Imperial Chariot technique, forcefully breaking through the air and demonic qi. His body swayed to the side, dodging the hurricane. In the next moment, the hurricane blew a huge crater into the area where Xiaofan had been, and smoke and dust filled the air. Oh! Kid, you're very bold. You actually ignored the warning of the contestants from the Devil Hero region and entered the depths of the forbidden area. How impudent! Who gave you the courage to do so? A bone-chilling voice rang out. Immediately, a young man in a black robe slowly came out from behind a thick demonic tree. He had a head of black and shiny shoulder-length hair, slanted and straight eyebrows, slender and sharp black eyes, thin and lightly pursed lips, and a slender and tall figure that was not rough. He was like an eagle in the night, cold and arrogant, but also domineering. His solitude gave off a domineering aura that disdained the world. There were 42 true acupoints in his body, indicating that he had reached the 5th level of true qi. Each true acupoint was like the eye of a storm, and the hurricane was raging. With a slight movement of his body, there was a whooshing sound, and the demonic qi was easily blown to ashes. A contestant from the Devil Hero region. Xiaofan completely calmed down and looked at the young man in a black robe indifferently. He directly used his killer move as soon as he met me. Domineering, indeed a domineering person. Xiaofan glanced out of the corner of his eye and saw a dozen corpses piled up under a bush in the east. Each of the corpses was in a mess, riddled with holes, and died very miserably. Oh! It seems that you have killed a lot of people. Xiaofan smiled. Really stupid. The young man in a black robe looked at Xiaofan playfully. There are always some idiots with pig heads who ignore the warning and want to enter the depths of the forbidden area to get a share. They are completely courting death. Digging their own graves. However, this time's Devil Hero trial is really difficult. You good-for-nothings will die sooner or later. It doesn't make any difference if you die earlier or later. Enough, since you have broken in, you are openly challenging the dignity of the contestants of the Devil Hero region. Now I will give you a chance. Kneel down and kill yourself, and you can have a whole corpse. There was a trace of charity and pity in the young man's tone. Xiaofan was not angry, but laughed and shook his head. Too strong and domineering. You are completely arrogant and domineering. It seems that the contestants of the Devil Hero region must suppress and deter other contestants, and don't allow others to resist. Oh, you want me to kill myself directly? What a joke. Well. The young man in a black robe nodded naturally, and his tone was as light as water. Yes, you are right. We, the contestants of the Devil Hero region, can only oppress others, and others can never resist. Whoever resisted would die without a burial place. For example, if you kill yourself now, not only can you have a whole corpse, but we will also not cause trouble to your family. But if you dare to resist, not only will you die without a whole corpse, but your whole family will also be implicated. After the assessment, we will go out and casually destroy your whole family. It is not impossible. At that time, we will be the devil hero, and it will be justifiable to destroy a family. Well, don't talk nonsense. Kneel down and kill yourself. This is the only way out. He said these words with awe-inspiring righteousness. His arrogance, despotism, and extortion of taxes were vividly reflected. Hearing this, the killing intent in Xiaofan's heart was completely out of control. In the face of such suppression, it was impossible for Xiaofan not to resist. Not only to resist, but also to kill. I only want to say 5 words. Xiaofan sneered. Oh. The young man in a black robe frowned. What do you want to say? What I want to say is. Xiaofan smiled. You motherf ***, Devil Hero Tower. A very high floor. More than a dozen old antiques sat quietly in a hall. Their auras were extremely strong and terrifying. Pieces of runes lingered around them, and when they opened and closed their eyes, there were visions of the sun, moon, and stars vanishing. Even the air was about to be twisted into pieces with a little breath. It was extremely terrifying. In the hall, there were gems that produced flickering images and a list full of names. This year's Devil Hero trial has entered the second round, and many young people have died. An old antique smiled slightly. It's okay. The 4 regions and the great wilderness can no longer cultivate young devil heroes who can take charge. The future trend should be completely dominated by our devil hero region. Another old antique waved his hand. This time, we have personally trained the most outstanding young people to participate in the trial, and they must take the OC position. These children are all geniuses that we have recruited from all over the world when they were born. They are all geniuses with excellent roots and divine talents. In order to cultivate them, we have spent a lot of effort and resources. Now, they have finally shown their brilliance. This year's Devil Hero trial is the first step to their rise. The young generation of the 4 regions and the great wilderness is too inferior compared to them. They are not on the same level. These children are the best in the past and the present. It is extremely difficult to cultivate each of them. They have received all kinds of trials and tests since they were young, and their comprehensive strength is no less than some low-level devil heroes. Although this year's Devil Hero trial is difficult, it is unlikely that children will die. They will definitely not die. They are the future devil heroes that we have carefully cultivated. Look at their names, they are still shining brightly on the announcement. Their names will never die. Stubborn. You are courting death. The youth in black was completely enraged by Xiaofan and attacked. Suddenly, from the body of the black-robed young man, a giant tornado suddenly burst out, filling the sky and covering the earth, sweeping away all obstacles. It had the power to destroy the world, and in an instant, it covered Xiaofan's entire body. This move was too fast. It was almost faster than Xiaofan's current thinking and reaction ability. It was indeed too powerful. In one move, Xiaofan discovered that the contestants from the Devil Hero region were definitely on a different level from the other contestants. Xiaofan, Huolai, compared with the genius contestants from the Devil Hero region, they were not even worthy of carrying shoes. They were all disciples taught by the antiques of the Devil Hero region. It was true that the disciples were as powerful as the masters. Xiaofan did not dodge this move. In an instant, Xiaofan felt dizzy and his vision blurred. He felt like the world was spinning around him. The hurricane was like a sword, slicing and tearing at him. It made Xiaofan feel like he was about to be turned into ashes. If Xiaofan's flesh was not as strong as a wild beast's, he would have been blown into pieces. However, Xiaofan's reaction was not slow. Just as he was enveloped by the hurricane, his indestructible golden body surged out violently. Golden light shot out in all directions and his bones were destroyed. His flesh surged and his muscles and bones roared. 800,000 cauldrons of strength surged and strengthened the indestructible golden body, forcibly resisting the hurricane. In an instant it was blown so hard that it sounded like iron being forged. "Break for me." The next moment, Xiaofan took out his mid-stage saber intent and slashed. Moreover, some of the hurricanes were forcibly converted into saber intent. Bang! 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 Xiaofan hammered with both fists and finally smashed the destructive hurricane. He took a step forward. "What? You are not dead?" The youth in black was shocked. "This flesh shell? Are you from the wilderness? Damn it! Die!" Xiaohan's mind moved and a touch of saber intent directly cut out, extinguishing the void and dominating the world. Boom! The youth in black's attack speed and thinking speed were too fast. He casually threw out a hurricane and annihilated Xiaohan's saber intent. Next, he threw out another hurricane like a machine gun, directly wrapping around Xiaofan. Boom! Xiaohan's body was engulfed by the hurricane again. "Let's see if you can still die this time. Let's see how many more attacks you can take." The youth in black laughed coldly. However, at this moment, a shadow flashed past. "What? Demonic chi?" The youth in black was surprised. "There are traces of the demonic race's secret technique. This is..." Suddenly, a sense of danger came from behind the youth in black. Boom! A large area of space behind the youth in black was destroyed. The air exploded inch by inch and chi waves rolled. Sneak attack? The youth in black was shocked and angry. However, his reaction was still fast. He grabbed backwards with his right hand. This grab condensed true chi and enveloped the surroundings, causing a large area of the ground to crack inch by inch. However, as soon as this grab was made, his entire body's true chi was sealed. The movements of his limbs were also firmly sealed. Bang! Xiaofan continuously used like an illusion and heavenly demon's divine seal. Only then did he barely manage to stop the youth in black. Xiaofan grasped this rare opportunity and violently punched out with an earth-shattering punch that landed on the black-clothed youth's body. Pooh! A large mouthful of blood, like a fountain, sprayed out from the black-clothed youth's mouth. His entire body was covered in fine and dense cracks, and his internal organs seemed to have been beaten into a paste. The youth in black fell horizontally and lay on the ground twitching. Blood spurted out from his eyes, ears, mouth, and nose. He wanted to get up, but he couldn't. However, he didn't die immediately. He looked at Xiaofan with deep hatred and disbelief. At the same time, he was filled with regret. "I hate you. I hate that I didn't use my ultimate killing technique from the start. I let you take advantage of it. You are proficient in the demonic race's secret technique. Everyone has the right to kill you." Xiaofan continued to sneer and walked towards the youth in black. "What are you doing? Don't tell me you still dare to kill me. You dare." The youth in black shouted harshly. "If you dare to kill me, there will be no place for you in this world. Get out of this area now, it's not too late. Idiot." Xiaofan stomped on his face with one foot, grinding it repeatedly. "Aren't you very noble? Aren't you arrogant and invincible? Aren't you still going to die in my hands? I specialize in dealing with idiots like you. Get lost. You dare to kill me? You don't dare. Don't you know that my master..." Bang! Xiaofan stepped on the youth in black's head and it completely exploded. He couldn't be more dead. "I don't dare to kill you. Let's see if I dare to kill you or not." Xiaofan laughed sinisterly. Wuxia Pagoda. An extremely high level. A group of old antiques were chatting and laughing. At this moment, what? My disciple Luo who, his name, actually dimmed on the announcement. An old antique stood up and stared with his eyes wide open. He couldn't believe his own eyes. Impossible. How could the Yao Yao that we trained fall in the second round of the exam? Did I see wrongly? Take a closer look. However, on the announcement, the name Luo Hu had indeed completely dimmed. It was a deathly gray. Roar. An old antique growled. His whole body seemed to be bathed in heavenly fire. His whole body was covered in red light and runes. Damn it! My disciple Luo Hu has indeed fallen. Who did it? To be continued, Peerless Tang Sect's latest chapter. Chapter 179. Xiaofan tried his best and finally killed a contestant from the Devil Xia domain. Then, he went deeper into the forbidden area. Guys from the Devil Xia domain are really hard to kill. If I don't use my demonic techniques and fight with my flesh and true qi, I'll be in a fierce battle. It's hard to tell who will win. Xiaofan knew it very well. However, in this case, I have to explore the bodies of the two mutant demon emperors. Awakening the demonic heritage is the most direct and fast way to improve my combat power. Only by awakening more demonic heritage can I compete with the geniuses of the Devil Xia domain. Anyway, I've already killed a contestant from the Devil Hero region, and they'll fight to the death. Why should I be afraid? I'll get the mutant demon emperor's corpse and the red card by hook or by crook. Xiaofan was ready to go all out. In the core area of the forbidden area, there was an altar that reached to the sky. The altar was very simple and rough, but its style was very ancient and vicissitudes, as if it had existed for countless years. There were no patterns carved on the altar, but it was stained with demonic blood. An extremely powerful and evil aura surged out, terrifying one's soul and extinguishing all vitality. It commanded the ages and caused the winds and clouds in all directions to change color. At the top of the altar, there were two corpses of ancient creatures. The corpses were releasing the ferocious aura of the primordial remnant. It wasn't clear, but it could be vaguely seen that it was in the shape of a human. It was dozens of feet tall and had hideous wings. Its whole body was shining with a metallic luster and had a strong murderous aura. But there was more demonic aura. The demonic aura spread out like a raging tide. Waves of demonic chi rushed into the sky like ancient flood dragons, giving off the sound of wind and thunder. Demonic sounds rang out, and a monstrous demonic light twisted, forming a brutal energy storm that made it so that no creature dared to get close to the altar. The corpses of two mutant demon emperors. It was really hard to imagine that there were only two corpses, which had existed for countless years. Not only were they not destroyed, but they were still emitting a destructive demonic light and demonic aura. That was too terrifying and shocking. If they were resurrected, the mountains and rivers would be shattered. Killing people and destroying countries could be done with a single thought. In the middle of the two mutant demon emperors, there was a red card, which shone with dazzling red light and rose to the sky. It was very beautiful. There were more than 30 people standing 1,000 meters away from the altar. There were men and women. They were all young people. All of them were extraordinary and otherworldly. He was outstanding and had a heaven-warping divine talent that surpassed the ancient times and surpassed the present. He was no small matter. They were contestants from the Wuxia domain. In today's world, among the younger generation, they were the elites of the elites, the heroes of the heroes. Some of these people looked valiant and intimidating. Their bodies shone with treasure light, and they looked very ostentatious. Some of them were quiet and cheerless, but when they opened and closed their eyes, sparks would shoot out. Some of them seemed to have a world of flames brewing in the depths of their glabella. Some of them had sword auras all over their bodies, and they became one with their swords. Some of them had strong physiques, and when they stood casually, they looked like a mountain. They had the demeanor of a great master, and their pressure caused the air around them to crawl. Some of them had blazing suns rise above their heads, illuminating the ages. With their bodies as the center, all kinds of strange phenomena appeared. Dragons, tigers, and tortoises appeared, devouring the world. Some of them were covered in a sea of holy light with thousands of bright moons floating in the air. No one could compete with them. All of them were peerless figures. However, they did not dare to approach the altar. All of his true chi and physique were deeply suppressed by the demonic aura. This is so shocking. The corpses of the two mutated demon emperors have existed since ancient times. They still have the demonic aura that can move mountains, fill seas, and shatter the earth. We've been waiting here for a long time, but we still can't think of a good way to get close to the altar. A young girl with an otherworldly appearance, who looked like a snowy jade tree, said in a light tone. Forget it. Let's go. We won't get any results if we wait any longer. It's a waste of time and energy. We might as well pass the second test with ordinary crystal cards and prepare for the third test. A young man with an intimidating aura frowned and said, I can't believe the chief examiner put the red card next to the corpses of the two mutated demon emperors. He's deliberately not letting anyone get it. Forget it. I tried to break through the pressure of the demonic aura and get the red card, but my soul was almost shattered by the demonic aura just now. Only those who have reached the 6th level of true chi can approach the altar. Let's go. For a moment, more than a dozen men and women flew away. There were still more than a dozen people left. They stopped and pondered, unwilling to give up easily. Behind a cluster of demonic trees hundreds of meters away from these people, a pair of pitch-black eyes blinked a few times and peeped at them. It was Xiaofan. TSK. Such a strong demonic aura. It can crush people's souls. Even the mountain and sea prison can't compare to it. Xiaofan licked his lips. However, at this moment, the demon egg in Xiaofan's heart and the tattoo of the demon sovereign's palm on his left arm burst out with uncontrollable greed. It seemed that they wanted to seize the two mutated demon emperors' corpses. It seems that my left arm of the demon sovereign's palm can not only absorb and refine all the demon plants and demon beasts in this forbidden area, but it also seems to be able to make a move on these two extremely evil mutated demon emperors' corpses. Xiaofan's heart was burning with desire. Wow! The demonic aura contained in these mutated demon emperors' corpses is thousands or even tens of thousands of times stronger than those demon plants and demon beasts. It's the origin of all the demonic aura in this forbidden area. If I can get it, then, it will definitely be heaven-defying. At the thought of this, Xiaofan's heart couldn't help beating wildly like a drum. He really couldn't restrain the wild thoughts in his heart. However, judging from the situation, there were more than a dozen contestants from the Devil Xia domain guarding outside the altar. Their auras were all extremely shocking, shaking the entire land. Their combat strength was violent. Just now, in order to kill the guy who was in charge of keeping watch outside, Xiaofan had drained all the demonic power contained in his demonic vein. Now there was only one demonic vein left that contained demonic power. Xiaofan didn't think that with the demonic power in this demonic vein, he could use the heavenly demon investiture art to seal off more than a dozen geniuses present. It seems that I can only take a risk and use the illusory movement to directly rush over. I have to rush to the altar and take away the two mutated demon emperors' corpses. Wait. There is a red light between the two mutated demon emperors' corpses. Could it be that red card? The more Xiaofan thought about it, the more excited he became. There were more than a dozen contestants from the Devil Xia domain over there. What? I feel that something has happened to junior brother Luo Hu. A young man with a forehead like a full moon and a body that contained infinite light was extremely shocked. When I was young, I cultivated with junior brother Luo Hu. It can be said that our hearts are connected. Now I suddenly feel that junior brother Luo Hu is in trouble. How dare you? Someone dares to attack the contestants from our Devil Xia domain. Suddenly. Oh. Someone is peeping at the side. Could it be the murderer who murdered junior brother Luo Hu? A young man with evil chi suddenly roared. Don't be sneaky. Come out. Boom! The youth made a grabbing motion through the air, directly grabbing the place where Xiaofan was hiding. This immediately produced a dragon-shaped airflow that shattered the vast sky and locked onto Xiaofan's essence, chi, and spirit. Even the space was torn apart and cracked inch by inch. I've been discovered. Good. I'll go all out. Let's fight. All of a sudden, Xiaofan's body created a few afterimages and directly dodged the grab. Then, demonic sounds suddenly appeared from all directions, and demonic aura rose. An ancient demonic clan talisman directly enveloped the group of contestants from the Devil Hero domain. The aura of the seal was everywhere. Divine Demon Investiture. Oh. The secret technique of the demon clan? But it's just a small trick. A youth slapped out with his palm. Instantly, the void warped and changed. Everything was destroyed. A large palm shot out, and there were countless divine runes circling around it. It directly struck the demonic runes, causing them to distort. Puff! Another youth slashed out, sending out a thick beam of sword chi. Thunder rumbled as the illusory image of a lightning god appeared. This sword chi contained traces of a predestined tribulation. As it slashed out, it completely destroyed the demon race's runes. These two geniuses actually joined forces to break Xiaofan's divine demon investiture. However, Xiaofan did not think too much about it. This divine demon investiture was just a trick to delay time. Xiao, afterimages flickered. Xiaofan executed illusory movement. His body was like a ghost. Afterimages and mirror images appeared in all directions, and he had already rushed towards the altar. You're courting death. A young man directly struck out with his fist, locking on to Xiaofan's aura. This punch was filled with holy light like the sea, raging waves like the tide, as if 1,000 horses were galloping, and 10,000 elephants were crushing. Another young man slashed at Xiaofan. This slash looked down on the common people, and it was no small matter. The long spear in the hands of a young man swayed, and he executed a supreme spear technique. The spear light was like a peacock spreading its tail, pushing forward layer by layer. It was invincible in the world. A group of peerless geniuses from the Devil Xia domain executed a great killing technique on Xiaofan, surrounding and attacking him. They shattered the afterimages and mirror images created by Xiaofan's illusory movement. It also slightly injured Xiaofan's body. Puff! A mouthful of blood spurted out. Xiaofan's aura was slightly weakened, but his indestructible golden body surged, and his whole body shone brightly. His bone texts flickered, so Xiaofan was not directly killed. He executed Sky Demon Investiture, illusory movement, and indestructible golden body. The combination of these three techniques allowed Xiaofan to break through the encirclement, and his body flickered to the top of the altar. At this moment, Xiaofan coughed up a few mouthfuls of blood. The series of attacks just now had drained 11 of his one demonic vein. However, he still successfully reached the top of the altar. Ah! 2 mutated demon emperor corpses. And that red card. Xiaofan glanced at them, and his whole body trembled in shock. How dare you? The group of geniuses from the Devil Xia domain was shocked and angry at this moment. They stared at Xiaofan, bared their teeth, and cursed him furiously. This kid actually ignored the demonic aura of the 2 mutated demon emperor corpses. He used demonic techniques repeatedly just now. Could it be that he is a member of the demonic clan that sneaked in here? His movement technique is very strange. His movements are illusory, and he avoided our attacks. What? He wants to take away the red card and the 2 mutated demon emperor corpses. Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, Xiaofan first put the red card into his true acupoint. Then, he lifted up the 2 mutated demon emperor corpses with one hand and the other end. Although the demonic aura of the 2 mutated demon emperor corpses was ferocious and terrifying, the demon egg in Xiaofan's heart was running like a motor, crazily dissolving the demonic aura. The tattoo of the demon monarch's palm on his left arm had also grown a lot, and it could share a lot of the pressure for Xiaofan. Therefore, Xiaofan could successfully take away the 2 mutated demon emperor corpses without being harmed. He. Xiaofan grinned hideously. I'm not going to accompany you anymore, ha 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 ha. Swoosh, squeezing out the remaining demonic power, Xiaofan performed it again. The movement was illusory, and he had completely disappeared from the altar with the 2 mutated demon emperor corpses and the red card. After Xiaofan took away the 2 mutated demon emperor corpses, the demonic aura in this area suddenly became thinner and thinner. Go after him. We can't let this guy escape. He got the precious treasure for free. We must catch him. He must have murdered junior brother Luo Hu. This hatred is absolutely irreconcilable. He must have a lot of secrets. We must catch him and interrogate him. Also, the contestants of the Devil Xia domain have already declared the ownership of the red card, but that guy took it away. This is tantamount to slapping our faces. Unforgivable. A group of geniuses of the Devil Xia domain passed through this area and directly chased after Xiaofan. Chapter 180. Xiaofan used 2 demonic methods to snatch food from the tiger's mouth. He took away 2 mutant demon emperor corpses and the only red card under the noses of more than a dozen geniuses of the Wuxia region. Xiaofan was running wildly. He carried the 2 mutant demon emperor corpses in both hands and dashed in the forbidden area as fast as lightning. In fact, Xiaofan even burned the emperor's true qi, and with the momentum of a personal expedition, he tore through the air at a fleeting speed like a shooting star. There were more than a dozen murderous auras behind him. They were chasing him like maggots. This was the most critical moment. He couldn't be caught. Otherwise, all his previous efforts would be in vain. The emperor's natural qi burned and consumed crazily in exchange for a domineering explosive force, which gradually made Xiaofan pull away from the pursuers. But he couldn't let his guard down. Now, the demonic power contained in the 200 demonic meridians on the palm of Xiaofan's left arm was all used up. In his current state, he had no chance of winning against the geniuses of the Wuxia region, not to mention that there were a large group of people on the other side. It was a matter of life and death. Xiaofan's spirit was completely focused, and his life potential was developed and stimulated like never before. Suddenly, puff! Puff! 2 crisp sounds came from Xiaofan's body, which was the sound of a butterfly breaking out of a cocoon. The 16th and 23rd acupoints exploded almost at the same time. Xiaofan couldn't help but laugh. At this critical moment, my acupoints exploded under the pressure. That's too bad. Behind him, more than a dozen geniuses from the Wuxia region flew in the form of various strange beasts with their true qi, rode on rainbows, flew on swords, or stepped on light. They were chasing Xiaofan. They fanned out and chased after Xiaofan. Their eyes were full of burning murderous intent. We must catch that kid. He has committed a heinous crime. He must die. Don't worry. I noticed that he burned his true qi along the way, so he suddenly sped up, but this is tantamount to drinking poison to quench thirst. When his true qi is exhausted, it will be time for him to be killed. His 2 demonic methods are indeed strange, but they are not mature enough to pose too much of a threat to us. He's just a small aphid. Going against us is like hitting a stone with an ox. He's courting death. After capturing them, torture them to death. That's right, after the selection is over, I'll slaughter his entire family outside. Implicate 10 families. These geniuses, who had always been arrogant and unruly, had never suffered a loss in anything since they were young. They had always had the upper hand, but now, Xiaofan had actually taken advantage of them. Not only that, he had even killed one of their companions. This caused all of them to gnash their teeth in anger. Their internal organs were burning, and their guts were about to explode. They swore to capture Xiaofan and use all the methods they had to torture and abuse him. Outside the restricted area, more and more participants went through all kinds of hardships to find their crystal cards and come out to be verified. There are already 80 little fellows who found their crystal cards and successfully passed the test. Chen Fading Wind smiled in satisfaction. He glanced at the participants who had passed, and he thought to himself, these little fellows who were able to pass are all geniuses who possess both intelligence and courage, tenacious willpower, and extraordinary talent. The second stage wasn't something that could be passed with pure luck. All sorts of methods were indispensable. Good, very good. Suddenly, Chen Fading Wind's expression changed and his body trembled. He stared at the forbidden area as if he wanted to see through everything that was happening in the forbidden area. His expression also became strange. Chen Fading Wind, what are you doing? The crippled old man frowned. During the test, some strange things happened. Chen Fading Wind's lips curled up, and his facial expression became very strange. All right, crippled old man, it's nothing. Let's wait quietly. After saying that, he sat cross-legged and closed his eyes to rest. At this moment, what? Junior brother Luo who has met with an accident. His name on the notice has dimmed. What's going on? Dozens of participants from the Wuxia region screamed in shock and anger. Outside the restricted area, there was also a virtual image of the notice, which allowed all the participants to see the changes of every participant's name on the notice. This caused the participants from the Wuxia region to see that their companion's name, Luo Hu, had completely dimmed on the notice. It had become gray and lifeless. He was dead. How dare you? Who is it? How dare you attack our people from the Wuxia region? This is unforgivable. Let's go in and take a look. A group of enchanting people from the Wuxia region was ready to rush into the restricted area. How dare you? Chen Fading Wind's eyes widened, and a terrifying ferocious glint shrouded him. A terrifying pressure was produced in the air, and with a tremor in the air, the group of geniuses from the Monster Hero region was almost thrown off their feet. All of you, stay still. Since you've passed, you can't enter the restricted area again. Otherwise, you'll all be eliminated. Chen Fading Wind said coldly. Don't think that just because you're from the Wuxia region and were trained by those senior heroes and antiques, you can ignore the rules. Let me tell you, even if I execute you, those antiques can't do anything to me. Stand still. Whoever dares to move will not only be eliminated, but will also be killed. Under the huge pressure of Chen Fading Wind, the group of participants from the Wuxia region did not dare to move. They were silent, but their eyes flashed with suspicion and anger. On the other side, Mo Qingtong, Fatty Zhu, Xiao Yunrong, and Huafan stood quietly in a corner. I don't know how Boss Xiao is doing inside. Fatty is really worried. Boss Xiao is going to the depths of the restricted area to look for that red card. I don't know if he can get it. However, once he enters the restricted area, he'll definitely encounter those bastards from the Wuxia region. Given Boss Xiao's character, he definitely won't give in and might even fight, Fatty Zhu said in fear and trepidation. Look! It seems that the people from the Wuxia region have died. Huo Wu said. Could it be? Junior brother Xiaofan did it. All of you, shut up. Mo Qingtong looked around warily and warned fiercely, don't talk about this anymore. Once someone hears anything, it'll plant a seed of trouble for Xiaofan. Xiao Yunrong suddenly smiled. Miss Mo, it seems that you're extremely worried about Xiaofan, restricted area. Xiaofan's emperor's true qi had been completely burned. He ran all the way and was about dozens of miles away from his pursuers. However, Xiaofan knew that it wouldn't take long for them to catch up to him. It wasn't safe. Moreover, the two mutated demon emperor corpses were constantly emitting fierce demon qi, which made it impossible for Xiaofan to deceive his pursuers no matter how he escaped. I have to find a quiet place to refine these two mutated demon emperor corpses. Otherwise, I'll fall into their hands sooner or later, and then I'll be better off dead than alive. Xiaofan thought quickly. Moreover, Xiaofan couldn't carry the two mutated demon emperor corpses out of the restricted area to pass the test. In that case, the mutated demon emperor corpses would definitely be confiscated by the chief examiner, and Xiaofan wouldn't get any benefits. After going around a demon mountain, a large black pool appeared in front of him. The black pool was surrounded by demon qi and had a foul smell, bubbling. A large number of dry bones floated on the surface of the water. It was very filthy. The demon qi here is very terrifying. Xiaofan's heart skipped a beat. Indeed, in the entire restricted area, except for the altar where the two mutated demon emperor corpses were placed, the demon qi near the demon pool was the most terrifying. In the demon pool, there was an obscure pressure that could destroy the liver and the intestines and shatter the soul. Maybe there are some powerful monsters lurking at the bottom of the pool. However, I'm in a precarious situation now. I can only take a risk. Xiaofan couldn't help but look back. More than a dozen ferocious auras were chasing him. They were getting closer and closer. There were only a few kilometers left. Damn it, I'll take the risk. Xiaofan gritted his teeth and directly jumped into the evil pool. Pucci, Xiaofan sank. As soon as he jumped into the evil pool, Xiaofan activated the spirit turtle true qi to seal his eyes, ears, mouth, nose, and body as much as possible, so that the water in the pool wouldn't drown Xiaofan's 7 orifices and pores. Soon, Xiaofan was in a state of suspended animation. But his mind was clear. He felt like he was on a mental journey. The water in the pool was extremely deep. Xiaofan sank for 1,000 meters before he stepped on the rocks and mud at the bottom of the pool. There were no terrifying monsters in the demon pool. The one who caused the demon pool to be filled with monstrous demon qi was a huge mutated demonic lotus that was fermented by demon blood. It could be more than 30 meters tall, which was extremely strange. Xiaofan didn't touch the demonic lotus. Instead, he sat cross-legged at the bottom of the pool and placed the two mutated demon emperor corpses under his feet. He observed carefully. They were the corpses of two terrifying creatures. The demon qi they gave off could shatter mountains and rivers. However, the two mutated demon emperor corpses were not complete. There was a hole the size of a bowl between their eyebrows, as if something precious had been dug out. Oh! I got it. Their demon emperor crystals have been gouged out. Xiaofan immediately understood. Thinking about it, it makes sense. The most essential part of a demon emperor's corpse is its demon emperor crystal, followed by the corpse itself. Damn it, what a pity that the two heaven-defying mutated demon emperor crystals were dug out and divided in advance. Otherwise, if I got them, wouldn't I be able to obtain the skills of the two mutated demon emperors before they died? Alright, don't think so much. The two mutated demon emperor corpses are already great treasures. Let's start refining. Xiaofan calmed down, and the tattoo on the left arm of the demon monarch began to throb crazily. In an instant, the two mutated demon emperor corpses began to be dismembered and melted inch by inch. They were refined into wisps of bright and pure demonic light, which flowed into the left arm of the demon monarch. Refining the mutated demon emperor corpses was indeed a marvelous work. After refining and absorbing a little bit, the dried demonic veins on the left arm of the demon monarch were awakened one after another, unstoppable and unstoppable. The tattoo on the left arm of the demon monarch refined the two mutated demon emperor corpses to its heart's content, obtaining indescribable nourishment. During the refining process, the two mutated demon emperor corpses were wrapped in hazy demonic light, which seemed to block the demon chi. The mist wrapped Xiaofan's body like a cocoon, and he didn't rush out of the deep pool. Xiaofan was completely immersed in this wonderful state of mind. He easily entered the supreme state of connecting with the heavens. The killing and danger of the outside world seemed to be inconsequential. Demon Hero Pagoda. At the very top. More than a dozen old antiques with powerful auras also calmed down after a moment of irritation. Luo, who is dead. He's the first person of the young generation of our Devil Hero territory to die in the Devil Hero trial, said an old antique with a gloomy face. But I don't think the young generation of the four regions and the Grand Wilderness would dare to attack the children we've cultivated. They don't have the guts or the ability to do so. I'm guessing that something unexpected happened during the course of the competition. It seems that we're still a bit blindly optimistic. This year's Devil Hero trial is known as the cruelest and most difficult one in history. It really deserves its reputation. Even if there are some minor mishaps along the way, it's still acceptable. The other patriarch was completely calm, and spoke in a casual tone. I hope the children will be more vigilant and not lower their guard. I think the death of Luo who will make the other children doubly careful. It's like a warning when a snake bites into the wood. The children are all extremely intelligent and talented. They are both wise and brave, and they are invincible. They will definitely advance step by step, or even walk on thin ice. As long as they are careful, at least in a short period of time, it is impossible for them to die again. Yes. The old antiques all nodded in agreement. At the bottom of the demon pool. Xiaofan had no idea what was going on outside. He was completely immersed in the process of refining the mutated demon emperor corpses. He was hardy. Unstoppable. He won one victory after another. Puff 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 puff, the awakening of the demon veins was no longer one by one, but dozens of them exploded at the same time. As a result, the palm of the demon emperor was surrounded by a jade belt, stars and clouds, spirit rivers, and thousands of tributaries, 20002500260030003 300. Chapter 181. Xiaofan sat at the bottom of the pool as if he was in seclusion, quietly refining the two mutated demon emperor corpses. The ferocious and terrifying mutated demon emperor corpses were constantly dissected into dazzling mist and misty light, which merged into the demon emperor palm on his left arm, awakening the demon veins one by one. As a result, every demon vein was filled with beautiful and enchanting pure demon chi. They were extremely agile, but they also contained destructive power. The two demon emperor crystals became even more extraordinary, like the most beautiful gems. With the refinement, the two mutated demon emperor corpses were completely dissected into two balls of energy mist, which were peeled off. I've already awakened 10,000 demon veins. Oh my God! Xiaofan's heart began to pound. 10,000 demon veins were flashing. As a result, Xiaofan's entire left arm was wrapped in an endless stream of demon light. It shone brightly, like some kind of treasure. Moreover, the two mutated demon emperor corpses had not been completely absorbed yet. He could still awaken demon veins. Each demon vein contained 100 cauldrons of power. Let alone the demon chi and demon techniques, just the pure power of the demon emperor palm on his left arm was 1,000,000 cauldrons, which had already surpassed the power of Xiaofan's body. If he used it, it would definitely cause a landslide. I actually feel like I'm picking the stars and the moon. I'm almost invincible. Xiaofan was burning with passion. However, under the seal of the spirit turtle's true chi, Xiaofan's aura did not leak out. He was as lifeless as withered wood or rock. Whoosh whoosh whoosh, powerful auras constantly swept past the surface of the pool, mixed with powerful wills. It must be the geniuses from the Wuxia region searching for him. However, the demon chi of the mutated demon lotus in the pool was as deep as the ocean, which made the geniuses of the Wuxia region unwilling to stay in the area. Moreover, Xiaofan hid his aura perfectly. As a result, they failed to find any loopholes and find Xiaofan immediately. They also made sounds of conversation and discussion, but Xiaofan dared not eavesdrop recklessly. Everything must be steady. He could not make a single mistake, which would lead to failure on the verge of success. At the bottom of the pool. Refine, absorb, refine, absorb, refine again, absorb again. The cycle repeated itself. Facing the two mutated demon emperor corpses, the demon monarch's palm tattoo on his left arm was like a glutton encountering delicious food or a drunkard encountering fine wine. He swallowed and drank crazily. Furthermore, as more demonic meridians were awakened, the speed at which the arch palm tattoo devoured and refined the demonic meridians on his left arm became faster and faster. There are 000. There are 501,5100. Great! The number of awakened demon veins had exceeded 15,000. Let's see if we can break through the 20,000 barrier. After the ecstasy, Xiaofan became calmer and smiled. Now, I estimate that there are only a few hours left before the second round of the test ends. I got an ordinary card and a precious red card. Not only will I be able to pass the second stage, I will also be able to get a reward from the chief examiner. That's right, the red card will be helpful for the third stage. Xiaofan was now very satisfied. 16001660017200. There is not much demonic chi essence left in the two mutated demon emperor corpses. Absorb and refine it as soon as possible. Xiaofan calmed himself down. In the forbidden area. On the peak of a demon mountain. After chasing Xiaofan for an entire day and night without any results, the dozen or so geniuses from the demonic hero region finally gathered together in a somewhat dejected and frustrated manner. Their bellies were filled with venomous resentment as they negotiated and negotiated. How is it possible? We have searched the forbidden area and almost couldn't find any trace of that guy. The strangest thing is that the monstrous demonic chi of the two mutated demon emperor corpses is also nowhere to be found. That guy evaporated from the forbidden area. The mutated demon emperor corpses disappeared mysteriously. Did he swallow them? The only thing we can conclude now is that he hasn't left the forbidden area. Then what should we do now? Should we leave the forbidden area and go to the chief examiner to pass the test, or continue to search? Continue to search thoroughly. Search every inch of the way. There must be a shocking secret on that guy. Think about it, he could hide by himself, but he was able to hide the two mutant demon emperor corpses so perfectly. It's impossible for the mutated demon emperor corpses to hide in the true acupoints. Otherwise, when the demonic chi collides with the true chi, the person will go crazy and may even explode and die instantly. The storage ring can't even contain the demon emperor corpses, so where on earth is he hiding them? Does he have any heaven-defying treasures? I think he probably does. Therefore, we must find him, even if we have to dig 3 feet into the ground to find him and force him to tell us all his secrets, so that we can all get supreme benefits. Wait. What's going on? A dignified young man looked horrified. The demonic chi in this forbidden area is getting weaker and weaker. Everyone looked around. Sure enough. The demonic chi that had accumulated here for many years was like a giant beast that caused the destruction of heaven and earth. The dark and lonely demonic chi was getting weaker and weaker. What? Look, there is sunlight shining into this area. The blazing sun pierced through the area that had been sealed by the demonic chi for countless years and shone in, bringing vitality and warmth. It's too strange. The demonic chi here is getting thinner and thinner, almost completely disappearing, so that this area will return to normal, no longer the demonic forbidden area. It must be that guy's doing. Search. Find him immediately. Now, everyone, split up and search. Once you find him, capture him directly. If there is any change, use the fireworks as a signal. Okay. There's no time to lose. Split up and search. At the bottom of the pond. Alright. Finally, every drop of demonic chi contained in the 2 mutated demon emperor corpses has been completely absorbed. Xiaofan opened his eyes and a smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. However, it's a pity that the demonic veins didn't break through the 20,000 mark and only reached 19,500. Ha 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 ha. Suddenly, Xiaofan turned his eyes and saw the huge demonic lotus at the bottom of the pond. Heh. Xiaofan thought of something and the demon sovereign's palm tattoo on his left arm burst out a violent suction force like a black hole, which instantly tore the towering demonic lotus that was more than 30 meters high into pieces, turning it into mottled pure demonic light and entering the demon sovereign's palm. Boom! His left arm shook. Exactly 500 demonic veins were awakened. Finally, Xiaofan gathered 20,000 demonic veins. It could be said that the merit was perfect and the mission was a success. Ha 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 ha. Xiaofan couldn't hold back the joy in his heart anymore. He moved his body and directly rushed out of the demon pond. Pooh! Xiaofan rushed out of the pond and jumped to the side. Suddenly, Xiaofan felt his entire body warm up. It was an indescribably comfortable feeling. Sunlight? Xiaofan was stunned. He looked up and saw the sun in the clear sky. Xiaofan looked around and found that the demonic chi in the area was almost gone. All of the demonic plants were dying, shriveled, and shriveled. This demon realm had finally recovered its vitality. Ha ha ha. I got it. After I refined the 2 mutated demon emperor corpses, it means that I have completely removed the source of demonic chi and the tumor in this area. The demon realm has become a pure land. Not bad. Ha ha ha. Xiaofan laughed heartily. Now, the demon sovereign's tattoo on Xiaofan's left arm was full of demonic chi, which was rolling and spreading like a river. Xiaofan could feel the almost world-destroying energy in it. With a thought, the dreamy demonic light became misty and enshrouded Xiaofan in it. It was as if he was walking in the immortal world, extremely extraordinary. His whole body was glittering, surrounded by demonic mist, and the splendid light shot up to the sky. The exuberant demonic light surged like the sea, making Xiaofan almost look like a demon emperor. In the elegant demonic light, Xiaofan's young and tender face became more and more defined. His eyes were black and shiny like gems, bright like stars, full of indescribable determination and confidence. His clothes fluttered in the wind, and he looked extraordinary. His hair was fierce and light, and his bearing was like a jade tree made of snow. In his tranquility, he was brewing a world-shaking dominance. However, Xiaofan could not appear in this state normally, or he would definitely be mistaken as a demon and be surrounded and attacked. If he was killed by a group of demons as a demon emperor, it would be too troublesome. With another thought, the demon sovereign's tattoo on his left arm shrank, and all the demonic light was withdrawn. As a result, Xiaofan's left arm became ordinary. Regular people would not be able to see through the mysteries on Xiaofan's left arm. Then, he sealed it with the spirit turtle's true chi, which made it even more perfect. He could do whatever he wanted. He. I'll go out and pass now, Xiaofan thought as he walked out of the forbidden area happily. In short, if anyone questioned him about the 2 mutated demon emperor corpses, he would just deny it even if he was beaten to death. At this moment, boom, a flash of sword light suddenly flickered, and with rolling thunder, it directly attacked from extremely far away. The target was Xiaofan. This strike was dignified and righteous. The sword chi was like a rainbow, piercing through the sky. With a slight slash, the figure of the god of thunder appeared in the sky. The gods seemed to be spreading their faith. Moreover, this strike contained the traces of fate and destiny. It was profound, and with a single slash, thousands of people bowed their heads. Oh! What a lingering ghost! Xiaofan tilted his body slightly and moved like an illusion, easily dodging the sword qi. This sword qi containing rolling thunder directly bombarded the place where Xiaofan was just standing, immediately causing the ground to collapse and the soil to roll. Moreover, the sword qi did not stop bombarding. With a series of rumbling explosions, lightning flashed, breaking mountains and severing rivers. The ground within a radius of several dozen zhang was all blasted open, turning into a deep pit. It was a mess. After the sword qi passed by, a young man with a sword on his back floated proudly in the void, looking down at Xiaofan. His whole body was wrapped in thunder and sword qi, looking like the god of thunder. His eyes contained the sword intent that could destroy the void, looking down on everything. He was young and mature, and his every move had an irresistible majesty. He was born to be a supreme being, and he could control the whole world. He was a peerless genius from the Devil Hero region. After being cultivated by a group of old antiques, he was extremely proud. The young man observed the state of Xiaofan's life force, and found that Xiaofan's breath was no different from before. It was still so weak. Good, I've finally found you. Hand over the red card. It's not something an aphid like you can touch. Also, where did you hide the 2 mutated demon emperor corpses? Since you can hide the corpses, it means that you must have a huge secret and treasure. Confess everything and tell me everything. The young man put his hands behind his back and looked at Xiaofan with pity. Now, you can't escape. My sword intent has already locked on your soul. If you dare to escape, I will immediately kill you and turn you into ashes. Alright, confess, give me the treasure, and kill yourself. Originally, I didn't want to cause trouble for your family, but you murdered junior brother Luohu, so 10 families were implicated. My only gift is that I allow you to kill yourself. Pfft! Hearing this, Xiaofan suddenly burst into laughter. He slightly moved his body, squinted his eyes and looked at the arrogant young man. His tone was as calm as water. Do you believe that I won't slap you to death? To be continued, the latest chapter of the Peerless Tang sect. Chapter 182. Xiaofan had just refined the 2 mutant demon emperor corpses and awakened 20,000 demon meridians. Then, a genius from the Devil Hero region ran over and roared. He said that he wanted Xiaofan to kneel down and commit suicide. His attitude seemed to be that he was the only one who could kill and could not allow Xiaofan to resist. How could Xiaofan be willing to be oppressed? Especially now that he had unimaginable power, he would not allow such an arrogant guy to jump around in front of him. Little aphid, how dare you speak so rudely? Fine, I'll kill you with my own hands. The young man from the Devil Hero region glared angrily. His sword qi was like a tide, and the sound of thunder rumbled. He was about to use his ultimate skill to suppress Xiaofan. The corner of Xiaofan's mouth twitched. He waved his right hand, and a single saber jumped out of his true acupoint. For a moment, the saber qi was like a rock spreading its wings. Oh! A saber user? But the saber qi is very immature. There's nothing to worry about. Seeing Xiaofan draw his saber, the young man from the Devil Hero region was stunned, and then his eyes were full of fear. So, you're a saber user. Your saber qi, saber momentum, and saber intent are outstanding in the 4 regions. But for me, you're still too weak. Ha ha ha. Aren't you afraid that the wind will cut your tongue? Go to hell. Xiaofan was about to slash out with his saber. The young man from the Devil Hero region laughed. Aphids are aphids, ha ha ha. However, at this moment, A cold and sharp saber light condensed on the blade in Xiaofan's hand, and a long river of demonic aura rushed out from Xiaofan's left arm. A huge demonic emperor's palm was directly sent out. This demon emperor palm was more than 200 feet long, almost as big as a mountain. It was full of demon chi, and its whole body seemed to be carved out of jade. One could see dense demon meridians rolling on it. Each demon meridian was pure and flawless, like a long river of spirit meridians and jade liquid. For a moment, within a radius of dozens of miles, there were tens of thousands of demon lights and demon chi. Ancient demon talismans kept blooming like lotus flowers. One bloomed, the other withered, and the cycle was endless. 2 demon emperor crystals were embedded in the demon emperor palm. They were as bright as stars, but they were also like the eyes of an ancient fierce beast. It was nothing when it was closed, but once it opened, it would be a catastrophe. Terrifying demonic sounds could be heard everywhere. The glazed demon aura that seemed to shine through the ages enveloped the youth from the Devil Hero region in an instant. The dazzling demon light made him unable to open his eyes. Just then, Pa Peach, the demon Thearcha's palm slammed down. This slap contained 20. Wan Ding's absolute violence was simply capable of destroying mountains and rivers, evaporating oceans, and shocking people to death. It was like a demon emperor had descended, causing storms to sweep through the heavens and the earth, volcanoes to erupt, and meteorites to strike. All of a sudden, the young man from the Fairyland region was caught off guard and was slapped down from the sky. Blood spurted out of his mouth, and all the bones in his body were shattered. His jade-like flesh shell was shaken to the point of shattering. He lay on the ground, twitching non-stop, and looked at Xiao Luo with fear, despair, pain, and unwillingness in his eyes. You are her. Demon. Demon. Puff. Puff. Heh, this demon the Arch-Palm can shatter a large area with just pure strength. Awesome. Xiaofan grinned and retracted the demon the Arch-Palm. Then, he slowly walked towards the young man from the Fairyland region. His face was filled with a harmless smile. What demon? I am a human. How can I be a demon? Heh. You, Puff the young man from the Fairyland region looked at Xiaofan in a daze. Only Xiaofan's face was as gentle as jade, and his temperament was light and agile. He was definitely a human and not a demon. As he spat out blood, he exerted all his remaining strength. You cheated, you took out your saber, but it was just for show. Your killing move is a demon's trick. I can't accept it. What an idiot. Xiaofan stepped on the young man's face. It's a battle of life and death. It's either you die or I die. As the saying goes, unscrupulous and unscrupulous. Do I have to tell you my tricks in advance and fight openly with you? There are more than 100 of you, and I'm alone. There's no need to talk about rules with you. Alright, die. I've said it before. I'll trample on your pride and face. Bang! Xiaofan exerted a little force with his foot, and the injured body of the young man from the Fairyland region was immediately torn into pieces. Immediately, a pile of items exploded all over the ground. There were countless supreme-grade true chi spirit stones and precious medicines. Xiaofan didn't count them. He stuffed them into his true meridian first. After killing the young man from the Fairyland region, Xiaofan used his movement technique and ran out of the restricted area. He sealed the demonic chi on his left arm tightly and flawlessly, making it impossible for anyone to see through it. The Fairyland Pagoda. A very high level. More than a dozen old antiques with strong auras were whispering to each other. At this moment, what? Lei Wuyin's name dimmed on the notice. He's dead? What's going on? What's going on? One of the old antiques jumped up. Luo who is dead? It's only been a day, and Lei Wuyin is dead again. The old antique was shocked and angry. Runes shot out of his eyes, and his aura was fierce, as if he was going to smash all the tables and chairs. "Brother Lu, calm down. Calm down." Another old antique immediately exhorted him. The second round of the test is almost over, and there are only 2 hours left. Perhaps Luo Hu and Lei Wuyin were unlucky and accidentally lost their footing, resulting in their deaths. Everyone, calm down. This round is about to end. There can be no more accidents. Calm down, everyone. In the restricted area. Time was of the essence, so Xiaofan used his true qi to transform into a bat dragon. Stepping on the dragon's head, he flew out of the restricted area at lightning speed. At this moment, bang! Right in front of Xiaofan, a firework shot up into the sky, exploding into a beautiful pattern in the air, with a profound artistic conception. Before long, a purple-robed young woman appeared in front of Xiaofan, slender and elegant. She was lively, but there was a murderous aura in her eyes that ruined her beauty, making her seem like a cruel and merciless person. Purple clouds roiled above her head, and purple qi stretched for dozens of kilometers. It was a spectacular sight, and was an extremely profound true qi divine art. "Stop." The purple-robed young woman looked coldly at Xiaofan. "Who are you? How dare you murder 2 of my senior brothers in the Devil Hero region? You deserve to die. But it doesn't matter if you don't tell us. In a while, we will make you kneel and kowtow to beg for mercy. Now, no one can save you anymore." "Huh." With a thought, the frost flood dragon under Xiaohan's feet immediately stopped flying. This caused Xiaofan and the purple-robed young woman to face each other in a deadlock. Whoosh whoosh, soon, there was the sound of something tearing through the air. Another man and a woman flew over. They were so fast that they left a series of afterimages in the sky. They were both proud sons of heaven and peerless experts. They stood to the left and right of Xiaofan. They looked at Xiaofan with a murderous look, but did not say anything. Then, there was a ripple in the air behind Xiaofan. Xiaofan turned his head slightly and saw a young man in a snow-white robe walking over in the air. His true qi did not seem very sharp, but everywhere it passed, the space shook. A huge picture appeared above his head. In the picture, there were green mountains and white clouds. Bronze palaces stood between the peaks and the clouds. He stopped 100 steps behind Xiaofan and looked at him calmly. It was impossible to tell if he was happy or angry. Walking with the white-robed young man was a man in purple. His clothes fluttered in the wind, and he looked like a god descending to the mortal world. His eyes were like stars competing with each other, extremely bright. He stood with his hands clasped behind his back, looking like he could take charge of an area. Then, in the west, under the bright sun, a large ocean actually appeared in the western horizon. The blue ocean surged violently, and a bright moon slowly rose from the surface of the sea. Silver light shone in all directions, and every ray of moonlight was as heavy as a mountain, capable of crushing the stars and meteorites into pieces. A woman in red walked out under the moonlight. High mountains and flowing rivers, and the bright moon in the sky, it was picturesque. In this way, people came out one after another and surrounded Xiaofan. Every one of them was a genius from the Wuxia region, a dragon among men. 1, 2, 3. Xiaofan counted silently. In the end, a total of 10 people surrounded Xiaofan. "You're very strong." The young man in white looked at Xiaofan. "There are fluctuations of the secret method of the demon clan on you. Even junior brother Luo Hu and junior brother Lei Wuyin were killed by you. This is beyond our expectations. But now you have nowhere to run. Tell us the secret. There is no other choice." "Ha!" Xiaofan smiled faintly, indescribably elegant and natural. There was no fear or shock on his face. "I don't like killing, but you're forcing me. Besides, the chief examiner didn't stipulate that the red card must be won by the people of the Wuxia region, right? Alright, let's cut the crap. Since I've already killed your people, I might as well go all the way. Die, all of you. As soon as Xiaofan's voice fell, a demonic wind swept in all directions, and the demonic sound was like a tide. Bang moo. In the void, a giant crystal-clear palm suddenly appeared, with a violent demonic aura. When it slapped in the air, people could see a demonic light drawing a beautiful arc in the air. The power could topple mountains and overturn the seas, destroy thousands of troops, and crush people and ghosts. Puff! The purple-clothed young woman who was blocking the front, was smashed to pieces, and she didn't even have the chance to howl before she was torn to pieces and died. Ah! Junior sister Tingting. Roar! A young man in green roared as if he had lost his parents. His eyes were about to split open. Bastard! Cut into pieces. Boom you! A long river-like saber chi directly slashed toward Xiaofan. Runes tumbled, and the sun, moon, stars, wind, fire, thunder, and lightning all flashed. Xiaofan's body moved slightly, and his afterimages appeared. The saber chi tore Xiaofan's afterimages into pieces, but the next moment, the demonic palm grabbed the young man in green like lightning and squeezed. Then, the sound of an egg being crushed was heard. Puff! The young man in green was crushed into powder. Bang! The demonic palm slapped down from the sky, and there was a sudden clap of thunder. The young man in white was slapped into a piece of human skin, and the ground collapsed. No! No! Why is this happening? We are all talented. Our master said that among the younger generation in the world, not many people can pose a threat to us. We came to participate in the Devil Hero trial, and only we can kill people. It's very difficult for others to kill us. Why is this happening? The remaining young men and women of the Devil Hero region all barked crazily, and they couldn't believe what was happening in front of them. Their spirits had been crushed, and they were completely defeated. Bastard! Die! Shatter the void, reincarnation palm. A big black palm, with a terrifying aura, suddenly appeared above Xiaofan's head and slapped down. Xiaofan's frost turtle dragon exploded and cracked. However, Xiaofan didn't move at all. His eyes were calm, and his expression was calm. With a flash of demonic light, the demon the arch palm directly slapped back. Puff! In a single strike, the black palm imprint was shattered. The demonic palm grabbed out, grabbing onto a yellow-robed youth and squeezing it. The pain was so intense that he let out a blood-curdling screech, and even begged for mercy. However, very quickly, his soul dissipated, and he couldn't be more dead. The demon the arch palm with 2 million cauldrons of pure strength, and 2 demonic techniques, made Xiaofan completely invincible in the battle with this group of people of the same age. It was as if he had entered an unstoppable realm, and he was invincible. After smashing 10 people in a row, the last one was finally scared out of his wits. His figure flashed, and he was about to escape. Boom! A demonic talisman covered him, and the sky demon god seal locked him tightly. The next moment, bang! He was smashed into pieces. All of them were smashed. In this battle, Xiaofan alone killed 11 geniuses from the Devil Hero region. It was a glorious battle record. Yes, they're all dead. No survivors. Xiaofan smiled with satisfaction, kept the demon the arch palm and the spoils on the ground, and continued to fly outside. Spirit Turtle True Chi sealed his left arm. Devil Hero Pagoda. An extremely high level. On the announcement, the names of the contestants from the Devil Hero region dimmed one after another. What? What's going on? Continuous deaths. Our disciples are dying one after another. What terrible thing happened? The old antiques roared and were furious. Everyone. Calm down. Maintain your poise and composure. Don't be noisy. An old antique muttered, his eyes staring straight ahead. F***CKU. The group of old antiques cursed in unison. They couldn't sit still anymore, and they ran around like headless flies. The Peerless Tang Sect's latest chapter. Chapter 183. Xiaofan used the demon god's palm to kill all the contestants who were chasing him in the forbidden area. He quickly restrained the instinctive excitement after killing, and did not forget to seal the demon god's palm tattoo on his left arm. His face was as calm as water, and his state of mind was as steady as a rock. Then, he flew out of the forbidden area. Of course, Xiaofan also knew that he had killed so many geniuses of the Devil Hero region, which was absolutely not a trivial matter. Although there was no magic eye stone in the forbidden area, the truth could not be concealed. If someone wanted to do a thorough investigation, they could almost find the murderer. Moreover, the red card was the biggest flaw. But Xiaofan had made up his mind, he would not admit it. Since no one saw it with their own eyes, then he would not admit it. Outside the forbidden area, it was already in an uproar. First of all, the demon aura in the forbidden area had faded to nothingness, and the gray and dead hue that shrouded it all year round was completely annihilated. And there was no trace of the aura of the mutated demon emperor radiating. So that the sunlight could shine into this dead land, bringing the vitality of all things to life. It allowed people to enter safely and stroll leisurely. What? Chen Shifeng, what's going on? The crippled old man was already a little fascinated and incoherent. The forbidden area where the corpse of the mutated demon emperor is sealed has been destroyed. All the demon aura is gone. Chen Shifeng's body trembled. His expression changed several times in a row, and then he calmed down. In the forbidden area, the source of the demon aura has been destroyed. Interesting, very interesting, huh? You mean the two corpses of the mutated demon emperor were destroyed? The crippled old man was full of disbelief. Although these contestants are young and enchanting, it is impossible for them to get close to the two corpses of the mutated demon emperor. It is absolutely impossible. At least in terms of realm, spiritual level, and soul strength, they are limited. Even the young people trained by the people of the Devil Hero region can't get within 1,000 steps of the mutated demon emperor, right? Old crippled. Chen Shifeng thought for a few breaths, and then smiled. Well, old crippled, let's wait and see about this matter. There was a possibility that a heaven-defying youth would be born from this batch of participants. In the future, he would become a demon hero who could command the wind and clouds and take charge of an area by himself. His name would completely shake the mountains and rivers. However, we can't jump to conclusions now. We still have to see if he can continue to lead the way in the following tests. Hearing Chen Fading Wind's words, the crippled old man understood. Chen Fading Wind, are you saying that a genius has appeared? However, to destroy the examination venue, this matter. I don't know if the higher-ups will reprimand me. It's fine. It's just an examination ground. If I can exchange it for a supreme demon hero, it'll be an immortal merit when I slay demons in the future. Passing Wind's face was full of smiles as he muttered, in that case, he should have obtained the red card that I placed near the mutated demon emperor's corpse. What reward should I give him? This. He fell into deep thought again. At this time, on the notice, there were many names that were fading. More than a dozen names in a row completely lost their vitality and dimmed. Ah! It's the people of our Wuxia region. How could more than a dozen people die in a row? The people of the Wuxia region were immediately shocked and hissed. In other words, the junior brothers and sisters who stayed in the forbidden area were all killed. There are no demons in the forbidden area that are enough to kill the people of our Wuxia region. Therefore, someone must have done this. This is simply a provocation. It's unforgivable. The culprit must be apprehended, tortured, and executed by 1,000 cuts. Everyone, calm down a little. Look, more than a dozen people's names were killed in a row. In almost a dozen breaths, they were killed one after another. In other words, the murderer is not only lawless and cruel, but his combat power is also shocking. It's almost a series of instant kills. In the 4 regions and the vast wilderness, it's unlikely that there will be a genius among the younger generation who can kill the people of our Wuxia region in a breath. Eldest senior brother, what do you think? Dozens of men and women from the Wuxia region turned their heads almost at the same time and looked at a young man. The man's skin was fair and tender like a young girl's. He had delicate features and was handsome. His head was wrapped with a piece of white cloth, which completely covered his hair. His clothes and accessories had traces of an exotic style, and his nose bridge was high, as if he came from a mysterious ancient country. His eyes were tightly closed and did not open, as if he was comprehending some mysterious principles. His whole body exuded the aura of treasures, and his face was calm, looking holy and solemn. His aura was round and flawless, not sharp, and no one could see his depth. At this moment, hearing that more than a dozen people on his side had died, he still closed his eyes and his expression did not change. In fact, although the geniuses selected from the Devil Hero domain addressed each other as senior brothers, junior sisters, and senior sisters, there was no strict and cumbersome seniority system. Often, they addressed each other casually. Simply put, the combat power of the junior brothers and sisters was not necessarily weaker than that of the senior brothers and sisters. However, this eldest senior brother was unanimously recognized. There was no second senior brother, third senior brother, or fourth senior brother. Master. There was only one eldest senior brother. He was regarded as the leader of this group of geniuses. No one was dissatisfied. At this time, the eldest senior brother still did not open his eyes, and even his holy and otherworldly face was not contaminated with secular emotions. He said indifferently, "Blooming flowers will eventually wither, and the bright stars will also be annihilated one day. People always have to face death. Since the junior brothers and sisters chose to participate in this year's Wuxia trial, they should have the awareness of death. They have fallen. Perhaps, this is their fate. But, eldest senior brother, we represent the dignity of the younger generation of the Wuxia region. We can't die in the hands of others for nothing." A girl in white said with a red face. The eldest senior brother sighed and said, "The person who got the red card is very likely to be the murderer." After that, he stopped talking, and his whole body seemed to instantly escape into the mysterious state of enlightenment. His eyes, from beginning to end, had not opened. The eldest senior brother seemed to be used to silence, and his aura was not sharp and flamboyant. Therefore, he was absolutely inconspicuous among this group of geniuses from the Wuxia region. Yes. Eldest senior brother is right. Let's see who got the red card. The people from the Wuxia region instantly quieted down and looked at the exit of the forbidden area. They changed from anger to calmness, but in this calmness, a disastrous storm was brewing, and undercurrents were surging. The contestants from the 4 regions and the great wilderness all looked at the people of the Wuxia region with gloating eyes. Fatty Zhu, Mo Qingtong, Xiao Yunrong, and Hui Yang were now surprised and happy. No way. Is all this done by the boss? Fatty Zhu lowered his voice and said. More than a dozen geniuses from the Wuxia region died, and the demon qi in the entire forbidden area is getting weaker and weaker. Oh my god. Boss, Fatty really worships you to death. You're not human at all. Fatty, what are you talking about? Mo Qingtong glanced at Fatty Zhu. Who's not human? No, Miss Mo, don't get me wrong. My boss is not human, he's an immortal. He'll definitely become an immortal in the future. Fatty Zhu explained with a smile. Flatterer. Mo Qingtong laughed and scolded. Junior brother Xiaofan's name is still shining brightly on the list. He's safe and sound. There's only 1 hour left before the end of the second round of assessment. I wonder if junior brother Xiaofan has found that red card. Huiyang stared at the exit of the forbidden area. The 4 of them were all waiting anxiously. They were all thinking. Why hasn't Xiaofan come out yet? From the forbidden area, a few contestants walked out and handed their crystal cards to Chen Shifeng. However, every contestant who came out to be verified would be met with dozens of vigilant and analytical gazes from the Wuxia region. There's already a little guy who found the crystal card. Not bad. Chen Shifeng also looked at the exit of the forbidden area. Heh. Chen Shifeng, are you waiting for the little guy who destroyed the mutated demon emperor's corpse, killed the geniuses of the Wuxia region, and obtained your lucky red crystal card? The crippled old man smiled. Then, he said in a low voice. I remember you said that there's a very interesting young man called Xiaohan, right? I think it's most likely that Xiaohan got the red card. At this moment, he's out. Chen Shifeng's expression trembled slightly. He and the crippled old man looked over at the same time. They saw Xiaohan slowly walking out of the forbidden area. His clothes were almost ragged, but he was full of vigor and spirit. Moreover, his temperament was light and agile, calm and unruffled. This little guy hid his realm and the power of his flesh shell. Moreover, there's a faint demonic aura on his left arm. The crippled old man said in a low voice. Chen Shifeng, look at his temperament. He's very calm. If he was the one who killed those geniuses of the Wuxia region, then he's really a ruthless character. After killing, he doesn't show his emotions. He acts as if it's nothing. This is a necessary condition to become an outstanding Wuxia. Boss Xiao is out. Fatty Zhu was extremely excited. Mo Qingtong, Xiao Yunrong, and Huafan's eyes also lit up as they looked at Xiaohan with relief. As for the people of the Wuxia region, except for the eldest senior brother, who was still in the mysterious state of mind-wandering and had not opened his eyes. The others all stared at Xiaohan. Xiaohan, right? Chen Shifeng took a step forward and looked at Xiaohan playfully. You found the crystal card? Yes. Xiaohan hesitated for a moment. Because he felt that the people of the Wuxia region were looking at him with deterrence and anger. Damn it, if I hand over the red crystal card now, I'm afraid I'll be exposed. Xiaohan hesitated slightly. Suddenly, a voice as thin as gossamer entered Xiaohan's ears. This voice gathered into a line. Only Xiaohan could hear it. No one else could eavesdrop on it. It was an extremely brilliant method of voice transmission. There was even a sense of soul transmission. It was very magical. Xiaohan, you found the red card, right? Ha ha ha. Very good. You killed those geniuses of the Wuxia region, right? Now, if you hand over the red card, it's tantamount to directly admitting that you're the murderer. It will directly cause trouble in the future. If you don't hand it over, you'll definitely feel wronged and unwilling. Ha ha ha. I'll see how you deal with it. Also, if I call you aside alone, the people of the Wuxia region will also be suspicious. Forget it, it's up to you to choose. I'll test your mind. It was the voice of morning passing wind. The crippled old man also crossed his arms and looked at Xiaohan with great interest. He also wanted to see how Xiaohan would deal with it. This. Xiaohan breathed out a mouthful of turbid air. After thinking for a while, he said, it's okay. Why should I, Xiaohan, feel wronged? Is there a rule about who can kill and who can't kill in this Wuxia trial? It's like 10,000 people crossing a single log bridge. Whoever gives way will be smashed into pieces. I found this red card, and I deserve any benefits and rewards. The winner is king, and the loser is a bandit. I have a clear conscience. Xiaofan said it with awe-inspiring righteousness. After he finished speaking, he suddenly broke some kind of shackle, and the courage in his heart was completely awakened. His mind had been transformed to a certain extent. His domineering will rose, and he ruled the world. I found the red card. Xiaofan reached into his arms, took out the only red card, and calmly handed it to Morning Passing Wind. Good. Very good. Xiaofan, you passed. Morning Passing Wind nodded with great appreciation and praise. He took the red card and said solemnly. Xiaofan, listen, I will personally reward you with an item. I won't renege on this, ha ha ha. Xiaofan handed over the red card, and the other contestants were in an uproar. Some of the contestants from the 4 regions and the Great Wilderness were filled with envy, jealousy, and some thought that Xiaofan was just lucky. But now, everyone firmly remembered Xiaofan's name. On the side of the Wuxia region, murderous intent filled the sky. The geniuses' eyes almost popped out of their sockets. They could not wait to surround Xiaofan and tear him into pieces. Don't act rashly, the eldest senior brother said indifferently. Respect the rules of the competition. Eldest senior brother. This person. If this person hands over the red card, he will be a traitor who murdered our colleagues from the Wuxia region. Everyone has the right to punish him. Moreover, he knows that the contestants from the Wuxia region are determined to get the red card, but he still killed and robbed us. This is a complete provocation and trampling on us. Chen Passing Wind ignored the indignation of the people from the Wuxia region and smiled faintly. Xiaofan, come with me. After that, he walked towards a valley on the left. Xiaofan licked his lips and quickly followed. His heart skipped a beat. This powerful Wuxia, the chief examiner of the second round, is going to personally give me a treasure? He is so powerful, I wonder what he will give me? It would be best if it is some kind of treasure like a true Qi divine skill that I can directly cultivate and increase my combat power. The two of them entered a secluded valley filled with flowers and trees one after the other. Chen Passing Wind stood with his hands behind his back and smiled faintly. Xiaofan, you have the secret of the monster race. In your left arm, you refined the hand of the monster race's emperor. This is a heaven-defying opportunity. This. Xiaofan's body shook violently. He became alert and took half a step back. It's okay. In this world, everyone has their own luck and opportunities. Humans have the secrets and methods of the monster race. Although it is rare, it is not impossible. You, Xiaofan, are just one of them. Chen Passing Wind said indifferently. I am a human. I'm not a demon. Xiaofan tried to defend himself. Heh. I have killed countless monsters in my life, and I have also killed monster emperors. I can tell whether you are a human or a monster with one look. If you were a monster, you would have died a long time ago. In fact, in the first round, you were killed by Old Quebec. Chen Passing Wind smiled faintly. Hearing this, Xiaofan heaved a sigh of relief. Moreover, Xiaofan was clear that only the tattoo on his left arm was seen through. The monster egg in his heart was still hidden and couldn't be seen through by anyone. That was Xiaofan's biggest secret. The palm of the monster race's emperor, this opportunity is indeed shocking. Chen Passing Wind looked at Xiaofan. Suddenly, a demonic light flashed between his eyebrows. This demonic light directly shot into Xiaofan's left arm and saw through many secrets. This is... Xiaofan was shocked. He definitely wouldn't be wrong. The beautiful light that flashed between Chen Passing Wind's eyebrows was definitely demonic light. But Chen Passing Wind was definitely not a monster. There was no doubt about this. After all, the monster egg in Xiaofan's heart couldn't sense Chen Passing Wind at all. Head Examiner, you also have the skills of the monster race? Xiaofan suddenly had an idea. You can say that. Chen Passing Wind nodded and said. Your current demonic power is equivalent to half a Monster Emperor. Oh right, the lowest grade of Monster Emperor. Xiaofan was stunned. Half a Monster Emperor? To be continued. Chapter 184. Half-Step Demon Emperor? Xiaofan was confused. Chen Wanfeng said confidently. Yes. Half-Step Demon Emperor. The demon race is ranked according to their bloodline. The more noble their bloodline is, the more demon veins they will awaken. To put it simply, those who awaken at least 40,000 demon veins and have a demon emperor crystal can be called demon emperor. Of course, like I said, it's only the lowest level of demon emperor. Xiaofan, you should know that demon emperors are also divided into different levels. You can't generalize them. There are mutated demon emperors above demon emperors. Xiaofan nodded and thought for a while. Head examiner, this. I understand. I've met 2 demon emperors before. They were the North Mystic Demon Emperor and the Qinglin Demon Emperor. The North Mystic Demon Emperor moved like an illusion, while the Qinglin Demon Emperor wielded the apocalyptic demon blade. Although they are both demon emperors, I heard from my senior brothers that the Qinglin Demon Emperor is many times harder to kill than the North Mystic Demon Emperor. Chen Wanfeng continued. Therefore, Xiaofan, now that you have opened 20,000 demon meridians and refined the Demon Emperor crystal, you can be regarded as half a low-level demon emperor. This should not be wrong. However, you're a human after all. Once the demon power in your demon veins is depleted, the recovery speed will be extremely slow. But the demon race is different. Even if your demon power is depleted, it can automatically replenish itself in a short period of time. Furthermore, they can quickly replenish their demon power by devouring humans. For example, some demon emperors would devour a city of human beings in one go to replenish their demonic power in an instant when they were in need. That's right. If all of the demon veins in my left arm's demon monarch palm were to be depleted, it would take a very long time for it to recover by itself. If I want to recover quickly, I have to hunt the demon race. Xiaofan nodded. Astonishingly, his heart was shaken to the core as he blurted out. Head examiner. You even know exactly how many demon veins have been awakened on my demon god's palm. This is really unbelievable. There were many almighties who could see the traces of the demon race on Xiaofan's left arm. However, for someone like Chen Fading Wind to be able to tell how many demon veins were awakened on the demon emperor's palm, it was indeed unimaginable. Chen Fading Wind smiled but didn't say anything. A grain-sized crack appeared between his eyebrows, and demonic light flashed. He seemed to be in a good mood as he spoke with a smile. Under normal circumstances, demon generals are unable to produce demon emperor crystals, and they can only awaken less than 10,000 demon veins. Demon emperors possess demon emperor crystals and awaken 40,000 demon veins to become low-level demon emperors. Awaken 480,000 demon veins to become mid-level demon emperors. Awaken 80,000 to 10,000 demon veins to become high-level demon emperors. To a demon emperor, 100,000 demon veins is a critical point. Because of their bloodlines, it is very difficult for them to exceed 100,000. However, once it breaks through 100,000, it means that the bloodline will ascend and the mutation will begin. Minus 300,000 demon veins was a first mutation, 36 million demon veins was a second mutation, and 10,000 demon veins was an ultimate mutation. An ultimate mutated demon monarch has a chance of becoming an emperor. Let's not talk about the monster emperor for now. All mutated demon emperors are violent creatures that rule over an area. Their bodies will produce more than one demon emperor crystal. Ordinary demon emperors that haven't mutated can only give birth to one demon emperor crystal. Once a demon emperor mutates, it is possible for a second, third, fourth crystal to appear. For us, mutated demon emperors are no different from nightmares. Throughout history, every time a mutated demon emperor is killed, even if it's a first mutation, many demon heroes have to pay with their lives. It's very tragic. Chen Fading Wind sighed. His eyes flashed with a look of reminiscence. His facial muscles twitched a few times, as if he was recalling something terrifying. Xiaofan was also digesting Chen Fading Wind's explanation at an extremely fast speed. Low-level Demon Emperor, mid-level Demon Emperor, high-level Demon Emperor. Mutation. First mutation, second mutation, ultimate mutation. Demon Emperor. This was the pyramid structure of the upper echelons of the demon clan. It looked extremely complicated, but it was actually very simple. Based on the number of demon veins, one could accurately deduce the level of the demon clan. Xiaofan. Suddenly, Chen Fading Wind's expression became extremely serious. Yes. Xiaofan focused his mind. Remember, the methods of the demon clan are only an aid to you. You're a human. Cultivating true qi is your foundation. To us humans, true qi can prove our Tao. There's a chance to become an immortal. If you're obsessed with the secret methods of the demon clan and give up on cultivating true qi, you're definitely putting the cart before the horse and going astray. Although you've obtained the demon emperor's palm, you definitely won't have the methods of the demon emperor. You won't be able to refine more demon emperor crystals, or your body will explode. Awakening the demon veins may seem easy now, but it will become more and more difficult in the future. If you're a demon and obtain the demon emperor's palm, you'll definitely become a demon emperor, or even have the possibility of mutating. However, you're a genuine human. Do you understand what I mean? Yes, I understand. The demon emperor's palm is just the icing on the cake, not the foundation. I'm a human, and my true qi is the foundation, Xiaofan said seriously. But Xiaofan thought. If I only have the demon emperor's palm, it'll be extremely difficult for me to achieve much. But in my heart, there's still a terrifying demon egg. The demon egg and the demon emperor's palm complement each other, so it's hard to say. Of course, it was impossible for Xiaofan to reveal such thoughts. Very good, you have a good temperament, you're not arrogant. Chen Fading Wind nodded with satisfaction. Of course, your foundation is already very good. Cultivating both demon techniques and true qi, this is almost a rare existence. With true qi as the foundation and demon techniques as the supplement, your battle power will increase exponentially, allowing you to become an all-powerful demon hero in the future. However, you have to pass the next test. This time's demon hero selection competition is getting harder and harder. Let's see if you can overcome all the obstacles, advance triumphantly, and laugh until the end. Xiaofan nodded. Alright, as I said before, the participant who finds the red card will receive a personal reward from me, Chen Fading Wind. I, Chen Fading Wind, am not a person who goes back on his words. Also, I've already thought of the reward for you. Chen Fading Wind smiled confidently. Is that so? Xiaohan's heart palpitated. Ha ha ha. Xiaofan, this treasure is not a small matter. Originally, I was extremely unwilling to give it to others, but after thinking about it, I feel that this treasure is the most suitable for you. Also, I've developed a love for you. As Chen Fading Wind spoke, the demonic light between his eyebrows became more and more dazzling. Strings of demonic aura enshrouded the area, making Chen Fading Wind's face look extremely demonic. Pooh, a soft sound was heard. The area between Chen Fading Wind's eyebrows actually cracked slightly. In the next moment, a small eyeball directly flew out. This was an eyeball that was filled with demonic aura. The color was like agate, and the demonic light was flowing frightening people's souls. It was as if one would be sucked into the demonic light in the eyeball if they looked at it for too long. This is a demon eye. It's a trophy that I obtained from a battle where I killed a demon emperor. It's useless against the human race, but if it's used against the demon race, it will display many miraculous effects. For example, it can see through a demon race disguised as a human. For example, it can see through a demon race's body and see how many demon veins it has awakened. From this, it can deduce its demon power and combat strength. Xiaofan, now, I'll give this demon eye to you as a reward. If you can become a demon hero in the future, you can use this demon eye to hunt demon race to your heart's content. Ah. Junior understands. The reason why the main examiner was able to accurately see how many demon veins I have awakened is because of this demon eye. Xiaofan's mind flashed with inspiration. Ha ha ha. Not bad. Alright, I'll give you the demon eye. Let's see if you can refine it. If you can't refine the demon eye, I'll take it back. Chen Fading Wind laughed carefreely. Then, he put his hands behind his back and left the valley. Xiaofan, hurry up and come over. The second round of examination has ended. I'll bring you to the third round of examination. Oh. Xiaofan responded. He opened his right palm. The peanut-sized demon eye had already floated to his palm. It was rolling around, emitting a demonic and clear luster. It was as if it was blinking. It was very mysterious. If I refine this demon eye, I can see how many demon veins a demon race has awakened. That's great. This is equivalent to seeing through the demon race's combat strength with one look. I can predict the enemy's moves and see through the slightest details. When hunting demon race, I can advance and retreat at will. That was great. But, how do I refine this demon eye? Just as Xiaofan thought of this, the demon egg in his heart suddenly moved. It spat out a bright light that directly covered the demon eye. The next moment, the demon eye seemed to have a mind of its own. It immediately merged into Xiaofan's forehead. Xiaofan couldn't react at all. Boom! 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 Xiaofan's forehead expanded crazily, almost exploding. However, the situation was the same as when he refined the demon god's palm. At this critical moment, the demon egg in his heart emitted a warm current and rushed into Xiaofan's forehead. It began to nourish and soothe the demon eye. After 10 breaths, demon talismans bloomed from Xiaofan's forehead. Demonic light shone in all directions. He felt that the demon eye seemed to have merged with his soul. It completely belonged to him. It was refined. Between Xiaofan's eyebrows, there was a crack the size of a grain of rice. With a flash of demonic light, he glanced at his left arm and immediately saw that in his left arm, there was a giant palm with a towering demonic aura, which was as majestic as a mountain ridge, inlaid with 2 pieces of demon emperor crystals that shone like stars, as well as a total of 20,000 spirit veins and a long river of demon veins. This is really interesting. I can actually see it so clearly. Xiaofan was happy. He thought again and the demonic light between his eyebrows disappeared. The crack the size of a grain of rice closed. Good, good. This reward is very interesting. Xiaofan was overjoyed. He left the valley. Outside the forbidden area, Xiaofan walked to the side of his companions. Boss, you're so awesome. Fatty Zhu growled, his eyes full of admiration. Mo Qingtong, Xiao Yunrong, and Huafan all looked at Xiaofan with shining eyes. Brother Xiao, what reward did the chief examiner give you? Mo Qingtong looked at Xiaofan with her charming eyes. Oh, nothing much. It's just a small thing. Xiaofan smiled. At this moment, dozens of geniuses from the Wuxia region looked at Xiaofan with their teeth clenched. Their throats made gurgling sounds. Their hatred was monstrous and they were extremely angry. Only the eldest senior brother had his eyes closed tightly as he silently comprehended the profound principles of the universe. Okay, kids, the second round of the assessment is over. Congratulations, you've successfully passed and can enter the third round of the assessment, Chen Fengchen said loudly. I'm not too sure about the content of the third round of the Wuxia trial, but the venue is not on this island. Also, I can give you some general information. The third round of the assessment may be more interesting, ha 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 ha. Chapter 185. The head examiner of the second round, Chen Shifeng, was about to announce the situation of the third round. Fatty Zhu was still nagging in Xiaofan's ear. Xiaofan glared at Fatty Zhu. Enough, Fatty. Don't spout nonsense. Listen carefully to the head examiner. Oh. Yes, boss. Fatty Zhu said with a fawning expression. On the other side, the geniuses from the Devil Hero region suppressed their killing intent and shifted their venomous gazes away from Xiaofan. They all stared at Chen Shifeng. The scene quietened down. Morning Passing Wind said calmly. Now, I will simply announce the data. A total of 7,897 people entered the restricted area to participate in the second round of assessment. Now, 3,340 people have successfully found their crystal cards. Another 205 people are still lingering in the restricted area, struggling to find their crystal cards. However, the time for the second round of assessment has ended. Then, the 205 people who are still in the restricted area will be directly eliminated and sent out of the examination venue. That's the situation. As soon as he said that, the entire venue was filled with discussions. 7,897 people entered the restricted area, 3,340 people found their crystal cards and passed. 5 people did not find their crystal cards but survived. In other words, a total of 4,352 people died in this assessment. The number of deaths far exceeds the number of people who passed. This is too scary. Too cruel. What a freak. This is only the second round. There are still more rounds after this. Who knows how many people will die? Perhaps, in the end, there will only be a few hundred people who can survive and become chivalrous heroes. A general success is built on 10,000 bones. At this moment, Chen Fading Wind suddenly muttered, "That's pretty good." Out of the 4,000 crystal cards, 3,340 people found them. This has already far exceeded my expectations. This batch of youngsters is of high quality. Each of them is a genius. What? When Chen Shifeng's words fell into the ears of the contestants, it caused an indescribable shock. Previously, it was clearly stated that there were 5,000 crystal cards hidden in the restricted area. But now that the assessment has ended, it is said that there are only 4,000 crystal cards. These examiners are too sinister. I will not believe any examiner's words in the future. Who will believe them? Believing them is courting death. The Hex Hero preliminaries are full of danger and deception. Alright, everyone stop talking and making noise. Chen Fading Wind's expression did not change. Next, I will personally lead you all to the third stage's examination venue. That is an extremely beautiful place. It's like a fairyland, filled with spiritual energy that makes one forget to return. Chen Shifeng's face revealed an expression of infatuation and yearning as he muttered. The third stage might not be so cruel. She is very gentle and kind to people, like a fairy descending to the mortal world. Maybe she will let most of you pass. The contestants whispered among themselves, the third stage will be easy? Only a fool would believe you. What beautiful fairyland. Looks like the third test will most likely be in some kind of cruel and dark place like hell. Based on what he said, the chief examiner of the third stage seems to be a woman. However, We already know these chief examiners like the back of our hands. He had always loved to speak sarcastically. From the looks of it, the chief examiner of the third stage should be a demonic and cruel person. He was guilty of many crimes. Anyone who saw him would be afraid. Sigh, I wonder how many people will die in the third stage. Just thinking about it makes me feel sad, although some of the contestants were full of complaints and their faces were filled with disappointment. However, the majority of the contestants had unwavering determination in their eyes. Their exuberant fighting spirit could not be extinguished. After all, those who could pass 2 stages in a row could not be ordinary people. They should all be the strongest of the younger generation. They were as steady as a rock and indomitable. Yes, old cripple, you deal with the aftermath. Send the 200 people who are still in the restricted area out. With this experience, they will benefit greatly. Even if they can't become hex heroes, they will not be mediocre for the rest of their lives. They will all have some achievements. Chen Shifeng smiled and nodded at the crippled old man. The crippled old man coughed violently a few times, then smiled and said to the contestants. Children, you are about to leave this island and enter the third stage's examination venue. I wish you all a smooth journey. You will all have the chance to become hex heroes. With that, the crippled old man limped into the restricted area. Xiao, a ray of light shot out from Chen Shifeng's body and shot into the sky like an arrow piercing through the clouds. Very quickly, a firework bloomed in the blue sky. The contestants all raised their heads to look. Very quickly, a wave came from the void. Boom, a huge object slowly moved and descended from the sky. It was a city in the sky. To be more precise, it was a building that had 100 floors. It was like a giant, and every floor was densely packed with rooms. There were even countless flowers and fruit trees planted there. There were countless luan birds circling and flying about, dragging out dazzling colors. There was even a faint aroma of delicious food coming from the building, as if someone was cooking delicacies. A city that could fly? A fortress in the sky? All the contestants, except for the group of youths from the Hex Heroes region, stretched their necks and stared at the moving city in the sky. They had never seen such a magnificent building before. Wow! Boss, this is too spectacular. There are 100 floors. Each floor has hundreds and thousands of rooms. Ah! Fatty seems to be able to smell the fragrance of wine. Fatty Zhu exclaimed. Every room looks so exquisite and beautiful, Mo Qingtong said with a smile. Mo Qingtong laughed. There must be a fragrant and warm bed in the room. I should be able to take a bath, right? I haven't taken a bath for many days. What a spectacular sight. Xiaofan also clicked his tongue. This is a moving city. Now, everyone, enter it. The moving city will bring you to the third examination hall. There will be about 5 days of flying time. In fact, the reason why we used this moving city to carry everyone was because we considered that everyone would be mentally and physically exhausted after 2 examinations, so we gave everyone a chance to rest and replenish their energy. In this moving city, there is the most exquisite food, the warmest accommodation, the most elegant scenery, and the most convenient morning clothes. Ha ha ha, everyone can relax and rest for a few days, Chen Shifeng announced with a smile. Many contestants almost cheered. Indeed, after 2 rounds, everyone was physically and mentally exhausted. They would not be able to face the 3rd round in their best condition. Appropriate rest and adjustment were very necessary. Xiao Yunrong stood beside Xiao Han and yawned. Then, she quickly covered her mouth and looked at Xiao Han embarrassedly. She blushed and explained in a low voice. I want to sleep. But unexpectedly, Xiao Han's stomach failed to live up to his expectations and began to rumble. I am extremely hungry. I'm sleepy and hungry. In the moving city, no one is allowed to fight or kill. Otherwise, you will be killed. Chen Shifeng suddenly stopped smiling and said seriously, "Now, I will assign you to different floors of the moving city. You will not live on the same floor. Remember, when you live in the moving city, you must not overstep the boundaries. Do not trespass into the areas where other contestants live. If anyone dares to start a fight, I will personally execute them." Chen Shifeng began to assign the contestants to different floors. Perhaps intentionally, Xiaofan and the others were not assigned to the same floor as the people from the Devil Hero region. It was staggered. After the assignment, under Chen Shifeng's lead, the contestants flew up and entered the floor area of the moving city. The head examiner seems to be taking good care of that bastard. He actually arranged for us to be on different floors. He seems to be afraid that we will interrogate him, a young man from the Devil Hero region said indignantly. It doesn't matter. Another person waved his hand. Anyway, we can't fight in the moving city. Even if we are on the same floor as him, it is not convenient for us to fight. If we break the rules, we will be expelled. The loss outweighs the gain. Now that the preliminaries are far from over, we will have many opportunities to deal with him in the following rounds. We will let him know what it means to live a life worse than death. Yes. If there is a chance in the third round, we must torture him to death. More than 3,000 contestants, together with Chen Shifeng, flew into the moving city and each occupied a floor. Boom! The huge moving city flew towards the east at a speed that was definitely not slow. It gradually left the sea and flew towards the third round's examination venue. Devil Hero Tower. Level 20. Wu Hao, the Heavenly Devil Old Man, Zhu Ganglai, Xiao Mingchu, and the others. They were holding gems that refracted images. The second round is over. Wu Yu nodded. Only 3,000 contestants are left from the 10,000 contestants. We will take the moving city to the third examination venue. Junior brother Xiaohan and junior sister Hui Yang passed the second round together. Dongfang Qin was overjoyed. This is really not easy. We just don't know where the examination venue of the third round is, and we can't know the content of the third round. I am also worried for junior brother Xiaohan and the rest. The difficulty of this time's preliminaries is really too high. Sect Master, things don't look good. Xiao Mingchu frowned. Junior brother Xiaohan obtained a red card in the second round. Moreover, more than 10 geniuses from the Devil Hero region died. It seems to have something to do with junior brother Xiaohan. From the image of the gem just now, I saw that the Devil Hero region was full of murderous intent towards junior brother Xiaohan. If it was not for the head examiner, Chen Shifeng, who was moderating the situation, I am afraid that they would have already started fighting. It doesn't matter. Wu Yu said calmly. It was normal to offend some people or even make enemies in the preliminaries. Xiaohan is a person who shows off his abilities. Don't expect him to pass through the rounds calmly. There will definitely be all kinds of tribulations, which is also a kind of tempering for him. From the image just now, I saw that Xiaohan's spirit and aura have become much more rounded. It seems that he has received a lot of benefits. He has become stronger. Devil Hero Pagoda. An extremely high level. The group of old antiques calmed down after their rage. However, their faces were terrifyingly gloomy. Runes intertwined and their aura was like a dragon, as if they could jump up and kill at any moment. Alright, we have no right to interfere in the competition. Although more than 10 disciples have died, most of the children have entered the third round. Now, the children should be very clear in their hearts who the real murderer is. I think the children can handle this matter very well. The image on the gem froze and showed Xiaohan's image. Find a way to investigate this kid's background. One of the old antiques smiled viciously and stared at Xiaohan's image with a venomous look in his eyes. Investigate his family background and the situation of his sect. You're tuning into the Xiaofan's Wuxia Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.